Oh, I had my sound turned off.
We're live. Welcome in, Heather from Milk and Honey Heritage Farms, Charles from Bushcraft Family, Ariella from Arielle Viking Venture and Victuals. That's a mouthful. Welcome, Tiffany from Canadian Family Life. So I told Tiffany I invited like 10 people, and she was like, "What if they all show up?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh, not even half will show up." I was the most surprised by Charles, though. I didn't know he would be here. He's just one of those that comes in every once in a while when you don't think he will. He likes He's a surprise. And when I said the word surprise, I was talking about Charles. What you up to, Charles? Anything?
Oh, not much. Just getting ready for garden time.
Yeah, me too. It's so warm outside. I just want to plant everything because it's giving me this false sense of, oh, it's going to be warm, which I have thrown a little bit more in the ground than I should have because it's just like it's 80 something degrees. I mean, there was one day it was predicted to be 93. I'm like, it's February, guys. It's not even May or anything. Hello, my Alabama Farm Life. How are you? So, yeah, it's crazy. But I heard you went to the post office to mail some herbs.
Yeah, that was fun because their machine was down. So the post office lady went and put the stamps on for me. So that was good.
That was nice. My all the people in my post office are nice except for this one lady, and she seems to be the one I always get. And when I get her, she charges me a lot of money, but when I get the other two people, especially the guy, I don't get charged as much. So where's the what's up with that?
She puts her thumb on the scale.
I think so. Yeah.
Maybe the whole side of the hand. Ugh.
Hello, Urban Harvest. Welcome.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing from the wrist up,
Yeah.
This envelope weighed 21 pounds.
Hello, Lisa, our Georgia Suburban Homestead.
I haven't gotten a chance to watch your update video on your bus life, van life video. Bushcraft?
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
It didn't work out.
Oh, well,
yeah. I made an offer, and evidently they went with somebody else.
Hi, Tammy.
Well, you'll find another one.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. It'll come.
Right.
That sounds fun. I only have 5 on mine. I am going to get the paid version, but I haven't done it yet. But I
don't even know how to use the unpaid version.
Hello, Dee's Adventures and Beyond. Welcome in.
So, hi, Arielle. Hi, Charles. Hi, Heather.
Hey, Jan.
Charles, while you're up here, I was going to ask you. So on the collab, there's the 4 herbs, but if you're growing other herbs, you can still do like your little entry video or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Those, right? Okay. So I went ahead and did that. I was just talking about, and for some reason I could remember 3 out of the 4 herbs, and I could not remember what the last one was. But yeah, I did just a little short video.
For some reason, the 2 ones that everybody wanted, they're not going to have them until summertime. So that's why I said I'll just send out a bunch of lemon balm. And
yeah,
of course, there's a lot of people that already had all the herbs that on the list.
I like it.
I had
Charles,
2
will you send me the herb list? Because I have lemon balm. I don't know what else you had on there.
Hyssop and feverfew. I can't remember what the 4th was.
Oh, I don't have them.
I still need to send you your
lemon balm and oregano.
Oregano, that's the other one.
Oh, okay. Well, I already have oregano growing. Can I cheat?
Yeah, you can still do it. It's just have you made tincture? Yes, you have made tinctures before.
Yeah.
Just make one with oregano or lemon balm, because lemon balm tinctures are really good.
Okay. I haven't made either oregano or lemon balm tincture, so That
So
will be interesting.
tinctures are with alcohol, right? Like with vodka
Vodka.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
typically.
Yeah.
Well, you can use olive oil too.
Yeah.
That's what I use for. It's a good antibiotic with oregano. You just
I've
let it
been,
set in olive oil for about 6 weeks, a little bit longer, depending. And you strain it all out and you put it in a bottle. And if you're feeling icky, take a couple dauberfuls and you're good to go.
Yeah.
one
I
thing
made a Thai basil olive oil tincture before. I still have it, but I'm going to use that for like cooking. Not it wasn't necessarily a tincture.
That's the good thing about it. If
Yeah,
you can just put it fry some chicken up or whatever, and it gives it good flavor.
Oh,
Yeah.
excuse me.
I've used one good thing because summer's coming up and a lot of people's hands and feet get dried out. I do olive oil infused with dandelion, dried dandelion.
Mm,
Buckingham.
It smells
yeah.
good and it feels really good on your skin.
Yep, dandelion's real good to make the flower part is good to make the salve
Yeah.
with just beeswax and olive
Right.
oil or
So
coconut oil.
is it for tinctures or can it also be salve?
It could be any of that stuff. It's
Okay.
just because things that are happening with our medication, we may be out of medication soon.
So whatever we can teach each other is good. That's good. I like that.
And harvesting the seeds too. That's a bonus part to it. That's what the whole point of it is.
I'm gonna look for some really fine mesh netting to put around like the some of my gardens, like for some of the collabs that I'm doing, so that I can ensure that I'm not cross pollinating some of the stuff that I want to save seeds for. Like you can put, I don't have it right here with me. You know those little mesh drawstring bags that you can put trinkets or whatever in? You can put those around before flowers bloom on plants. And like especially tomatoes, you can just shake it, you know.
Yeah. The wind does it most of the time.
I'm gonna get big net to go over the whole bed so that way I know, because I have honeybees too. So
yeah, that they'll cross stuff.
You know, I've never had anything cross pollinate ever. I guess I'm fortunate for that, but I've never had it have that happen.
I did actually last year.
Really?
Yeah, I had some yellow sweet peppers. They were pineapple bell peppers. And I had jalapenos like 6 feet from them. And all through the summer, I was eating the peppers. They were all real nice and sweet. One of them bit into it and like, woo!
Oh wow!
It was a spicy one.
Wow. Maybe I'll plant my banana peppers by my Trinidad peppers because I couldn't find hot banana peppers.
Organza bags, whichever way you say it.
Are you talking about these?
Yes, those. I bulk ordered. I have probably like 100 of them.
This has stars on it. I use these to put like stitch markers in and stuff. Yeah, jewelry or whatever. So the plantain salve, that's actually something I could make because I got the plantain leaf from Lisa at our Georgian Suburban Homestead.
Yeah.
Hello, Alfonso.
That stuff is all over the place.
Purple nettle is coming out here anyways in Northwest Oregon. So it's like an early spring purple nettle. Do you know what they look like?
They never go away here, ever.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
never.
I wish mine
They're here
stayed.
all year long.
I actually plant them.
Oh God. You should have let me know. I could have sent you acres of it.
Oh, I'll be out there in the garden, and I'll see it. I had a neighbor over watching me. Oops.
America great again.
You guys still have snow in Canada? Eh?
A little bit.
Eh?
It's been actually really, really warm here right now. We're going into a warm spell, and starting tomorrow, or actually tonight, we're supposed to get like a lot of rain. So I don't think there'll be snow by the time tomorrow hits.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Hello, Maritz's Yarn and
They
Craft.
caught, oh my gosh. So the other night I took my mom home. Sunday night I took my mom home, and it was like 8:00 at night. So I stopped off at a little gas station right by my house on my way up to get some coffee, not coffee, but French vanilla. And they got robbed when I was there. And I was standing outside the doors with the worker, and this guy was coming out the doors with his arms loaded with, I don't know, maybe beer or something. And all of a sudden I had to like move out of the way. I was like, whoa. And then yesterday morning, I had to go over to Washington for an ortho appointment for my son. And they had caught this guy that had been breaking into houses and beating people up and robbing them. And he was like one of America's most wanted.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, I hope it wasn't the guy that was at the little store the night before.
Holy cow.
I'm like, whoa.
Is that when you were telling us there's all the police going around?
Yeah, we had a guy last summer that was running like wild through all the towns in the county, like in the woods and stuff like that, and they couldn't catch him. It was crazy. Wow. It took them like days to get him. Wow. But he had other people that would like sneak to a destination and give them like food and clothes. Like,
Wild Man. I had to slow down to say that one. I actually have a bite on my arm. My mother-in-law's cat bit me on my 4 holes where she went and bit my arm, and a bruise in the middle.
Was it a love bite or a mean bite?
Well, now my mother-in-law is by herself because my father-in-law passed away. So I was sitting down on the floor next to her, and I was trying to help her kind of get some of her paperwork stuff in order. And we were trying to find out what the gross income was. So we were looking at her tax papers, and I guess I was too close to her. And so the cat gave me a warning bite. She is a beautiful cat. Like, I want to pet her, but I know better.
Yeah.
And cats don't scare me, but this one does. This is the second bite. I got one a couple of years ago from her too. But she's very protective of her mother. She could be a dog. I mean, I'm serious. She could protect her mother.
I've seen videos of that happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Cats from Hell.
Yeah.
Show.
Yeah.
Beautiful. She's really pretty. She's like a calico. I want to pet her, but
she thinks you're a toy.
The other time we were in the RV, and we were like camping, and we were staying in the RV overnight. And I was sitting there watching a movie with mother-in-law, and guys were out fishing, and she warned me then too.
Angry kitty.
I would have rather been fishing
over there. I'd have a thick blanket between me and the cat.
I know. Wear long sleeves in the middle of the winter. I mean, in the middle of the summer.
Summer, yeah.
How are you, Arielle? You're quiet down there.
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. I hope this microphone's working. I've got some earbuds in, so hopefully it's working. But yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can
You
hear
look
me?
like you're getting sun.
Yeah, she does. She has some color on her
Lots
face.
of sun. Yeah, I think today's top is supposed to be about 98 or something, so I'll melt when that happens. Thankfully, it's not packed yet, but
38. What does 38 mean in our temperature?
98.
98.
98.
Yeah.
No, that's too hot. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Too hot
Yeah,
for
not
me.
38. Maybe my microphone's a bit funny.
Well, I
Yeah,
heard
just the
98.
earbuds in.
I
We
started
got a
melting
day
with
in
you.
the 50s, a day in the 70s, a day in the 80s, and a day in the 90s. Is that not chaotic, insane weather?
Yeah.
That is,
We
yeah.
had 80s today, and tomorrow it's going to be 47, I think I told
Yeah.
y'all.
I think we're going to have 2 days in the 50s, but that's crazy weather, man.
Yeah.
And
It
all
goes
these
straight up.
weather people that said, "Oh, the winter's going to be horrible. It's going to be a dark winter."
No,
You need to find a new job.
exactly.
Yeah.
My
There
winter
you
was
go.
very
Well,
mild.
I think all those people, their job is scaremongering, actually, Charles.
Fear mongering, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Big
Try to
time.
see if they can get us to buy some more cans of
Free,
beef broth or something. I don't know.
freeze dried food.
Something to prepare, you know.
I was
But-
trying to think about how long have I known you, Jan?
About a year now.
At least.
Yeah. Yeah, a year and a half. Because I've known Gail and Arielle and Charles for a little over, well, about 3.5, 4 years.
I
Yeah.
was following Charles back
A long
when
time,
Jan Homesteader got in her accident.
Yeah.
Oh,
Before
okay.
that.
I just
No,
talked
he
to-
goes way
talked
back.
to
He's
her today.
old, man.
That
He's-
was before you had your channel, though, right, Heather?
Yeah, I was just
Yeah, I
a,
was gonna say, it
I
was
was
it's
just
been
a
that long.
watcher, a lurker.
Lurker.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
But
kind
I've
of,
known Ariella almost as long too.
yeah.
Yeah, it's been a fair
Tiffany, I've
while.
known almost a year now.
Yeah. It's been about a year,
Yeah.
you're right.
Every
Wow.
once in a while, I put in hashtag gailssouthernliving to see what will come up to make sure nobody shouted me out or called me out for anything or whatever. And all of a sudden, it pops up my old interview from Lala Farmz. And it was the very first interview I had on someone's channel. And I was literally terrified, like shaking. I was like, oh my gosh.
I miss them so much.
I know. They had a really good live. It was structured.
Yeah,
It was structured really well.
yeah.
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 I was
I
a
was
watcher
scared. Now, see, I'd never been on YouTube before 2019.
Mhm.
I just didn't want to have anything to do with social media.
I started in 2000. I'm class of 2020. I started a few months
2016.
before I got on.
But then I started getting this weird feeling something was happening. And so I started doing research and I was finding like homesteaders and preppers and
Yeah.
stuff like that to figure out what the heck was going on. So I did kind of and was ahead of the game.
Well, Gail and I
Yeah.
both started with Becky's Homestead
Mhm. Yep.
and
I was
Homestead
trying to learn
testing.
about. Yeah, I was trying to learn about chickens.
Yeah,
So I started like in the chickens and
It's all her fault.
homesteading, and then I went into the prepping, and then I started thinking about watching as I was watching homestead testing. I'm like, she's not perfect. She doesn't say everything completely right. I was like, if she can be imperfectly on YouTube, maybe I can be too. So
yeah,
it kind
yeah.
of inspired me to start.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'm a little bit like not as nervous when I talk on my videos. Like
No, you did way better.
I was like, I don't know, it's weird because I can go up to strangers and stuff and just have conversations, no big deal. I'm very social. But then when I get on camera, I'm like, dude.
Yeah, because you're overthinking it. You're like,
Mhm.
Yeah,
like I say
better
stuff
to
all
just
the time
run it.
that's not right. The wrong word, and I'm like,
I'm just not
I'm not
right.
fixing it. I'm leaving it.
I made
Yeah.
a 3-minute video and stuttered in the stupid 3-minute video. It's like, it's only 3 minutes. How can you mess up that much in 3 minutes?
I know Gail and I can talk for hours on end, and I never have a brain fart. But get me on the video, like I said, the bed truck instead of the truck bed. on one of my videos, and I was like, I'm leaving it in there. I want to see if anyone says anything.
Oh, you'd be surprised how just if you say something wrong, you'll get more comments telling you how bad it was.
Oh yeah.
Well, I haven't experienced that except for this dude named Charles. I think it was Bushcraft Family telling me it was Thursday and not Friday for my shout outs.
Actually, I have to say I'm
Charles
sorry.
live that down.
Well, I was going to say I have to say I'm sorry too, Charles, because when I did my survival seeds, I said the Bush family craft, and I actually put it on the screen.
I heard that, but I talk about.
It's
You
so
know how many
close
times-
though.
That was like my 5th or 6th take on doing that, and I said screw it. After that, I'm like, okay, I'm not doing it again, so I'm just going to leave it. And that's why I wrote it correctly on the screen. I'm like, there we go. That's
thank God for editing.
Yeah, I just
but I have to apologize because I did say the channel name. I'm like,
that's what makes them good. I like when I do interviews, I don't do a script or anything. It's just whatever pops in my head. I ask them. And I think they're so much more natural. And the same thing with the video. Everybody's saying, well, you have to make a script so you don't get off what you're supposed to be talking about.
I will have my notes if I have to mention like other channels or specific rules.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I have little index cards. If I am in a collaboration, I want to remember to say the channel names right, dates, and the giveaway date or whatever information. I have that on a card, so I read that, then I lay it down and keep talking. You know, I don't.
Yeah.
I have kind of written down, or if it's got a lot of rules, like it's some kind of collaboration with rules, I do have to write that stuff down so I remember.
Look, especially my first one I did, the Fall Fest giveaway.
Yeah.
Oh, I was so scared.
That one terrifies people. I'm like, if you miss a rule, just put it in the description box. It's not like you're going to be fired or something.
I know,
well,
right?
I was new at doing that part too, so
yeah.
Well, I was having fun with trying to keep the video under 5 minutes. I'm like, how am I going to do this? I ramble too much.
I know. I'm like
a senior citizen. I repeat a lot.
I did that too. Yeah, I think in my 3-minute video, I stuttered, I said a date wrong, and I repeated myself. I'm like, seriously, 3 minutes? How?
Well, I think we've all been there, Gaia.
A lot. Figure that one out.
Arielle, you have a collaboration that you were going to do this spring, weren't you?
Yeah, and I still haven't got around to doing it. I'm still waiting for YouTube to be kind because I've got to send out a few prizes and then I'll go on with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, everything's sort of been down a bit. You know, the views and watches and watch time and everything. And I think everybody's been going through that by the sound of things.
YouTube's wonderful.
Alfonso wants one of my chickens. What do you think I'm going to tell him?
No.
Okay, Alfonso, you have to jog to Gail's house, get the chicken and carry it and jog.
I have a rubber chicken if you want it, Alfonso. Looks like someone I can't stand, so you're welcome to have it.
Yeah.
Well, that rubber chicken could be, you know, getting a nice new home then by the sound of things.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to do that.
I'm surprised that chicken's not a chew toy by now.
That's what I was thinking. A chew toy for the dogs.
I was going to give it to Toby to play with, but I don't want him swallowing the squeaker on it, and he'll demolish that thing like in seconds. He'll eat it.
That might be fun to watch.
To watch him choke?
No.
Squeaker out. Take that part out.
To rip up the thing that reminds you of the person you don't want to think of anymore.
I know. Well, I'm going to get one of the big horse balls that he can play with. Kevin said it'll end up in the pond, which is probably true, but it, you know, yeah. What if
Oh.
I break into the TV screen and snatch it from you?
Alfonso, then you would go to TV jail, okay?
If you can do that, Alfonso, you're going to be a very, very, very wealthy man.
Yeah, I wouldn't be going after chickens.
If
I
you're
know,
the
right? I know. There's
Yeah.
other places. Hi, Dana.
The Jetsons did that, the dinner thing.
Oh,
meal
yeah.
thing.
No,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
I'm sure
I
they've
love
got it going somewhere in the real universe.
Hello,
Well,
Grace Johnston.
They
Hi,
may.
Grace.
Hello, Grace.
It's
Hey,
interesting.
Grace.
I'm getting familiarized with a lot of different people names.
Yeah, big hello to everybody I've missed here. I've sort of had chat running, but I haven't been watching.
There's a lot of interesting channel names out there, I tell you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know when I'm in
I
when I'm
know.
in Super Chat, I see some really interesting names. I'm like, what is that? And then you get over there, and the channel's not about at all what you thought. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Long.
ask somebody about to interview on my channel, and they said, "Well, I'm not into bushcrafting stuff," and I said, "Well, I don't really stick with bushcrafting stuff. It's probably the last thing I actually do on my channel."
Yeah, that's your channel.
Mhm.
That's a good part about Gail's Southern Living. It's a very broad category because
Yeah,
with adult ADD, I am all over the place and I can't even help it. It's just I mean, today I was in the garden, I was in the house, I was doing laundry, I was back out in the yard, I was inside. I mean, I was all over the place. It's
I
yeah,
should do a video of really what I do all day.
yeah.
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 It took me 2 days to do a 1-day video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I just don't want everybody to see everything.
My disaster. The,
Yeah.
the hair on my floor that
I don't want them.
constantly
Well,
see.
because I don't know. I feel like I don't want everybody in the universe to see like my whole house. Not
Yeah.
that I'm like embarrassed of it or anything. I
Watched
just
something the other day and I considered showing it on video and then I was like, do I really want to show it? You know, it's kind of a prepping kind of thing.
yeah.
Like, do I want to show it or do I not want to show it? And I actually thought about that a few times. Hello, Creative Beauty Butterfly. Welcome in.
Well,
Yeah, that's been a because if you was to because I've never showed any of my preps. I've showed cans that I've brought up and showed like the different cans that you should have and the pop tops. You have to be careful of those and different things like that. But I've never
Yeah.
showed what I had.
Right.
Yeah.
Me too. I don't want them to see my one pantry, let alone my 3 pantries.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So-
I know it drove me nuts when people are like, "Oh, you're a prepper. You got,
You have to
keep
show it."
private," and they're showing you everything they own, and I'm like, "Well, you're a dummy."
They
Now
don't
everyone
exactly.
knows. They
They
can
know
fire you in 5 seconds.
They know where to go when the world goes crazy.
Yeah.
Exactly. They'll
Yeah,
head
you
right
don't
to
wanna-
you and everything. So
Exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
saying
Yeah.
That's not smart. I don't even do grocery hauls because,
I don't go grocery shopping, so
well, I do, but not that
I
much.
can't do that.
Hello,
Yeah.
Mona did what?
Hey, Mona.
hey, Mona.
I don't know how you do that all that work on the farm and make everything homemade. That sounds like a lot of work.
Me?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I know. I'm
Like
feeling
that out, Superwoman.
right.
Right.
Well, right now I'm feeling a little overwhelmed
I bet.
because of all the seed starting that needs to happen soon for me. And then I'm trying to prepare for an event that I'm hoping to get into in July.
Oh, yeah, you were
So I'm cutting fabric out and like I have like 1,000 things that I need to do, plus, organize things in the house, plus do my farm work, plus, Yeah, there's a lot.
Oh,
Yeah, it makes
no.
my brain hurt. But I mean, after going around and round in circles in this house today, I was like, finally, I kind of felt a little anxiety over it all. I'm like, how am I going to get all this done? And I was like, calm down. I'm talking to myself saying, calm down.
Exactly.
All
One
right.
project at a time.
Right. And
Yeah.
luckily my husband is very patient with me. I'm like, I don't want to wash the pots and pans today. I'm done. Like, or I've got, like I'm busy. Like if I have to leave the house for an appointment or something, that's like a lot of time. That's several hours that takes away
Yes.
from a lot of things.
I
So
still never found my keys. I literally could not leave the house today if I wanted to. I could not find my keys. I was going to go to the post office.
They're somewhere because you got there.
Probably wasn't
Did you
working.
check your freezer?
Backup keys. Yeah. Somebody told me to look in the trash, and I might better do that before.
You still haven't found them?
Yeah, that's
this is like the second day.
Did you have to unlock the door with your keys to get in the house?
There's a cross that's like 5 inches long. There's a 5-inch cross that's silver on there that I've had for like 12 years. So
Did you check the door?
Well, hubby 30 came in.
Okay.
That's what my mother does, not me.
Yeah.
No, mine have to be in a seriously interesting place.
Okay, do you go front door or back door without revealing too much?
Oh, there they are. They're hanging on that peg behind you.
I looked on the peg. See, I always hang mine on the peg. I have a peg and I hang them there. I use that more than hubby does. He'll leave my keys and then a couple of backup keys there. And then when I use his keys, I always hang them on the peg. He never even uses that thing.
Okay, did you set when you first walked in, what'd you do?
Well, that was yesterday.
Grace says look in the bathroom.
I don't know what hamster wheel I was on yesterday. I barely know what hamster wheel I was on today.
Oh gosh. Hey P&J.
I'm pretty good at
funny. I just retraced my whole path.
I don't know if you call it like an eagle eye or something, but I notice when something is out of place or something is new. Yeah. Like I zone in, like the other day I found a bumblebee on the ground. I'm like,
my whole house is out of place.
Oh,
yeah, I know. Well, you should see my bedroom, my craft room. Somebody can break into it and they'll never come out. Never.
I went in there looking for something the other day, and I was looking for. I had donated to me bags that I use for the ministry, and it was a whole trash bag full of bags, and I knew I had it because I had kept, and then I guess we cleaned up for company and threw them in the craft room. I went in there and they were right on top. I'm like, oh my gosh, how lucky is that?
That's where the keys are at,
Grace,
inside them bags.
I agree with Grace. Sometimes they fall out when you go pee.
Yeah.
I can't tell you. Or when you sit down, they fall down on the couch.
One thing I didn't check was coats. Maybe they're in a coat.
Yeah.
There you go.
Maybe. I'm going to check that. Well, I mean, I have like 3, 4, 5 coats.
Wait, you wearing coats down there in 70 degrees?
Right now.
Yeah.
In the morning, when I very first get up to go feed the chickens, it is a little bit breezy.
Yeah.
Oh.
So maybe I will.
What, 60 degrees?
I don't know. It was, I mean, there's a couple of days I got up really early because I just wanted to get a lot of stuff done. So maybe I need to go look on the gardening table outside. I don't know.
It hits 50 degrees. I'm already in t-shirt and shorts.
Yeah. I walked out today. It was 71 degrees, and I messaged all the my friends, and I'm like, "Oh my God, what a glorious day! I couldn't believe it."
Mm-hmm.
There's CB and Janice. What a great name, Janice.
Yeah. That's my mom.
Oh.
Technically, that's well. My name's Janice. My dad called me Janice, though. So I'm going to take Janice because I
So we've
love that
got Canada, Oregon, Texas, and then Missouri. And then I don't know where on the map Arielle is.
Arielle.
Yeah, Melbourne. Melbourne, Australia. So right underneath on the bottom.
She's
So
right
that's
above
like-
me. She's right above me.
Mm.
Arielle, look, she says, "Hey,
and
Jan."
then Bushcraft Family, you're up.
Ohio.
Ohio.
He's
Yeah.
in the land down
Yeah.
under.
So we've got like all the points covered.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm upside down.
Yeah. That's kind of
Exactly.
cool.
I know, that is pretty cool.
It is. It
And
is.
we're all friends. Isn't that even cooler?
Yeah. Yeah. All from
Oh,
different.
yeah.
I was
I love
thinking,
it.
I told the
Summer.
vineyard chick it'd be cool to do a map and do pins of each state.
That would be
Good
cool.
idea.
Okay, you work
Yeah.
on that, Heather, in between your 3,000 other projects.
Oh,
And we'll,
so fun.
Yeah. I want you to fit that in.
yeah, squeeze.
Well, let me
it in.
see. No.
Yeah.
See, Ariella could do that on her spare time. She's got nothing going on.
They were
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Charles or Gail or Tiffany.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be really
We're all
cool.
pretty
Get
big.
how many
have,
kids? And
They have this huge tulip festival in Oregon
oh,
that people come from all around the world to come see, and they have a map, and so if you come visit from wherever
Oh,
you're at, you
there
can
she
put your little pin there, and they've got like little strings, like it's really cool.
Yeah.
cool.
Wow.
Baker Creek does the Tulip Fest, and we went when they were planting them. The first time we
Oh,
ever
wow.
went after we moved here.
He wants an introduction. So,
Gosh.
Gail in Texas. Heather, you go.
Oh, I'm Heather in Northwest Oregon.
Bushcraft Family.
Bushcraft in Ohio.
Ariella.
I'm Arielle, and I'm currently located in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, which is underneath or upside down the bottom of the world, down under, whatever.
Somewhere.
And it's summer here at the moment, so that's why I'm looking like I've got a fair bit of sun, because I was out filming just a few days ago, walking around a couple of bushland trails, woodland trails, and around some wetlands and that sort of thing. So I've been getting a lot of sun lately, just out filming.
Yeah.
It's hot there.
That'll be me pretty soon.
It is hot. I'm looking forward to the fall and some cooler weather.
I'm looking forward to the spring and planting some snow. Tiffany, your turn.
Oh, hi. I'm Tiffany. I'm in New Brunswick, on Canada, East Coast.
I'm Jan. Simply Jan Homestead from Missouri, Southwest Missouri.
Simply
There
Jan.
you go.
I'm in the normal time zone.
Are you in
Wow.
Central. Yeah, Central. Not EST or MFP or OCD.
Hey, I'm in Atlantic. I'm all the way out in the Atlantic Ocean over here.
I know you in Creekside, man. You and Nikki at Wine Cellar, y'all are in like weirdo times. You're hours behind us.
What's up?
Well, so am I.
Well, talking about weird time
I know.
zones,
I'm
we're
5:39.
here.
Oh,
It's 12:39, 12:40 p.m. on Wednesday.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, that's a weird time.
So you're tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're tomorrow. So
Here tomorrow.
so would I be?
We're today.
So would I be your friend from the past, or would you be the friend from the future?
Yes, you and Tiffany are friends from the past. Arielle is our friend from the future. Charles, he's we don't know
In
about
between.
Charles. And
Well,
Gail and
technically,
I are the only two normal time zones.
So if me and Tiffany slack on anything, that's okay. We have time.
Pretty much. You always be on time.
Well, that's the thing is like with Jen, it is what 7:40 there,
Yep.
or is it?
Yeah, 7:40. It's normal.
It's 9:40 here, so I'm 2 hours ahead of you.
Oh, I thought you were behind. Oh, so you're
I'm ahead of you because I'm on the East Coast.
You and Arielle.
Well, the weirdest.
We're the future, yes.
Yeah,
The weirdest thing is that it's summer here.
It's just me.
Everyday Homestead, welcome in.
Hey, Marty.
I know sometimes when people do early lives, like an 8 o'clock live for you, it's like really early for me.
I know. So you're 5 o'clock, Heather?
Yeah.
5:40?
Yeah. Fire here, not so much our Georgia homestead. Thanks for the question, but
I'm
thankfully,
2 hours from Gail.
I just dropped it here, but
4 hours from Tiffany. Is that right?
See, I'm not moving people around. When they kick out, they go into a different place.
Yeah.
It looks like it's me doing it, but I didn't do anything.
It reminds me of the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
Love the land. You're in
what state are you in? Love the land, everyday homestead.
Mountain Grandma's in Missouri too, right?
Yeah, she's not far from me.
Have you guys met?
No, not yet. That's sickening.
Yeah, what's wrong? That's weird.
I know.
The first thing I'd be doing is knocking on your guys' doors.
I know, but we're, they had to move and do things, and we were doing things, and so I'm trying to get them to come to our meetup.
Yeah, and meetup in Missouri.
Yeah. May 10th.
May, so that'll be my second time to get to see Jan.
I can't wait. I cannot wait to see y'all. We're gonna cook some ribeyes and some bike taters, and
I'm planning on it if I get a van by then and get it suitable to stay in.
Yeah. No, I knew they had so much to do, and I was like, I'm not intruding on them. They've just got their hands. I mean, Tammy and I had texts for months before they moved, and I knew she was moving probably before a lot of people knew she was moving, but being the perfect secret keeper I am. But I was like, there's no, if someone wanted to come visit and I was in the middle, I mean, when we moved here, I would have been so overwhelmed. Could we do this next month or maybe 2 months? How about a year? It's not that I don't want to. It's like, I can't wait to give her and Larry a hug.
Who popped out? Oh,
Heather. Yeah, she was buffered. Yeah, I am a good secret keeper. And people are like, can you keep a secret? And I go, are you kidding me? Yeah, you don't know how many secrets I have.
If there's anybody on the panel who wants to take a break, there's actually another person waiting in the backstage.
Good.
I was just going to say, Gal, I will stop down because I'm still not feeling 100%. So I've had to blast everybody. So I'll be down in the chat. So
okay, Tiff, love you.
Love you guys.
I'm but I'm going to come back in. Okay.
Okay. Love you guys.
Love you.
Thank you.
Feel better.
Thanks.
Yeah, I hope you feel better soon.
Okay, here we go. There we go. I made a spot for you, Jason.
I thought he had fairy wings for a second.
He does.
I'm like, hey, it's a fairy.
Green County Ferry.
Yeah, I saw you in Jason's chat earlier today. Jason.
I think he's on mute.
Is he on?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he might be on purpose. I don't know. Maybe he's got some dogs going on. Oh.
There we go. That's better. Sorry.
There you go.
I clicked on mute until I had the YouTube muted, and I forgot that I still had it on mute. So that's all I mean.
Thank you for coming up, Tiffany. I appreciate it. I didn't know you were not feeling well. She hit it very well, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know until she said something.
Yeah. And then when she said that, I was like, I do hear a little something back there in her voice.
Just a wee bit.
Yeah, just a tiny bit.
Well, we're getting some wind here tonight, Gail. So I don't know if you guys are getting anything or not, but we're getting some wind, and
yeah, we got some wind. It looked like
we might get some,
all day, but it didn't.
Yeah, we might get some rain. I don't know. Somebody's going to get it. Somebody's getting it. Maybe not us.
Somebody's getting it. It's not me.
Yeah, it already hit
I
here.
did some gardening. I went out. I came in and did some stuff, and then I went back out. I was like, well, okay, you did enough in here. Let's go back outside. So I did some more. See how much I can get done out there. I'm trying to get everything ready. Yeah.
I got so much to do.
Every spring, huh?
Yeah.
Every single spring.
Every single spring.
Run out of time.
You feel like you're never going to get it done, but you tell yourself, I'm just going to do one thing every day, and then eventually you get it all done.
I have to do 20.
Writing down goals and checking off boxes on a checklist does wonders.
Yeah, I have these little Ziploc bags that have different seeds in them. So as I complete something, I put it in a different space so I don't keep going through stuff I've already done. And I'm trying to keep track of the dates I'm planning stuff, but I always start doing that, and then by the end, I don't end up doing that.
It's hard to keep track of everything if you're doing a lot of starts, and you have things that have to get started at different times. We're hardly starting anything at all this year, though, because we had so many other projects that were going on right at this time, and we're just now finishing up, like converting our front porch into a sunroom. We got all of the structural work done. We got the screen in. We've got both screen to stop bugs, and we've got hardware cloth to stop anything from physically getting through too. So critters or whatever are not going to be able to get in and get out whatever we have starting up. So we can now use our front porch like a greenhouse. But it came too late for us to do anything with it this year. It's just now done. But it's too late to really get anything started. And also the back room was also in a turmoil. So I couldn't set up any of the grow lights there. The garage is in the middle of a clean out and tear down. So all the spaces that I would ordinarily have for getting plants started in are currently not available. So I'm sitting here twiddling my thumbs and waiting for direct sowing time to arrive, which is apparently going to be soon. Probably 2 weeks from now, I'll be getting corn in the ground.
Yeah, my husband built me last year an outside gardening table. So I actually have a gardening table that I can set up pots and fill them up and mix everything and get it and then move it to where it is. I do a lot of flowers and herbs in pots. And then I have, last year at the end of the season, after planting was done, hubby brought home 2 big shipping containers. Big wooden shipping containers, 2 of them. So I started last year filling those up. Well, I never managed to finish that. So I've been lugging dirt from the other side of the yard over to here, because there's grass in between my planting space. But over there, we have where the chickens have left their little manure, and then, leaves that he runs through and crushes up with the lawnmower and stuff like that. So that's good soil up underneath that. So I dig up underneath there and I fill up 5-gallon buckets and haul it over to the other side of the yard. And so I've been doing that.
Buckets works.
Yeah, it does.
You have a wagon?
No.
You should go on a community page and see if anybody's giving away a kid's wagon.
Yeah, that would be good. I
That would
like
be
that idea.
Yeah.
I actually
Maybe
just
Facebook Marketplace.
when I'm working in the yard, I
See
sit
that sort
down.
of thing there.
I sit down Indian style on the ground and work. That's how I work. And
Sounded
usually,
kind of nice, but you got a special spot for doing your gardening stuff outdoors.
yeah, I do.
I wind up with just like random gardening things just occupying the space around where I'm sitting at any given time.
Yeah, hubby built me that last year, but it was at the end of the year. So this will be my first year to get to use it. So at the end of the year, I just had pots lined up on it. Now, some of the pots need to be thrown away. I'm really bad about keeping pots that are ragged, but there's some that really they do need to go in the garbage.
Hate to throw the things away.
I do hate to throw them away, but sometimes
5 pounds of clover seed just happened to be sitting over here. Okay.
You gotta wait till the fall now.
Yeah. So
Well, I went around a little bit earlier and distributed clover and some more alfalfa and some more of that basic cold season ground cover stuff because our daikon radishes got finally killed off by the frost. We finally got a day that was so cold it did them in. And so they're doing their job, which is rotting down in the ground like they're supposed to and feeding the soil. It's something that Masanobu Fukuoka suggested, which was planting things like daikon radish and other things to enrich the soil by their growth cycle. And whenever they're done with their process, their soil should be improved, and then you can grow other things. So we're giving that a try. And the first season that we did it, it did so well at converting soil, we decided to give it another go, and probably maybe 2 more years of cover cropping with that way. And we might pull a radish or two out and eat a radish or two. But for the most part, we're growing those radishes just to work and condition the soil. And they're doing a pretty good job.
I've heard that about some of the beans. If you plant it, it'll help your soil.
Yeah.
Even if you never harvest them, you just let them.
Yeah. Beans with corn.
Yeah. Some stuff like that. I have 4 different things of corn, and I finally decided where I think I'm going to put them. But it won't be a lot. It'll just be a little bit.
I think I'm going to grow some corn this year.
I have a gorilla cart, but I don't know if it's called gorilla cart, but it looks kind of like it. But I use it every day. I put like a bale of hay in it. I have to pull it.
All right, so Mountain Grandma was asking what was the best soil for growing radishes. It depends. If you're growing radishes because you want to eat the radishes, you want to grow good radishes, then you need a nice, loose, well-draining soil, right? But the radishes that we're growing are daikon radish, and they're a rather large radish. They get maybe that big around, sometimes a bit bigger around, and really long, like 14 to 16 inches long. And the reason I'm planting them is because they themselves will work down through thick soil layers and spread apart the soil and create those channels for aeration and for water and for the microbes to come in and enrich the soil. Right. But if I was growing them to try to eat them, then you'd want your soil to be nice, loose, and well drained. Yeah. At the moment, the soil that we're growing these in is mostly clay that we're trying to rehabilitate, and it's doing a great job of that.
On my radishes, I've grown them twice in my raised planters, the ones that are up off the ground, and that does have loose soil. They grew very well there. Last year, I grew them in like those 10 or 12 gallon totes right next to my climbing wall. Everything that was climbing up, like cucumbers and stuff, that was on one side. The other side in the front, I grew radishes, and they grew in a tote perfectly well. But that soil was pretty well loose too, because I had worked it before I, did everything. So yeah, I would say it's not too picky. It's really not too picky. But you can't put it straight in the ground, I don't think. That's my opinion. What do you think?
It depends on what your soil condition is like. If your in-ground soil is nice and loose and it's got lots of humic material, it's just soft and fluffy, then sure, they're going to grow fine. carrots will grow fine there too. But if you've got nasty, compacted, lots of clay soil, like
ours,
like most people do around their houses in actuality, because that's typically what people do whenever they build a house, is they want to make sure that you've got a layer of clay and it's well compacted to be a fountain, serve as the space that you're going to build on. But that's not great for the garden. So a lot of people do have lots of clay that they have to deal with.
Yeah, we have some clay about 3 feet down, but it's not the same kind of clay like your guys' clay. It's a little softer clay.
Yeah.
You guys are out in Oregon, right?
Mm-hmm.
I suggest container growing, Tammy. That's my suggestion.
For what? Oh, radishes?
The radishes, yeah.
Yeah. After you've got your soil worked to the point where it's nice and loose and it's soft and fluffy, then you can grow radishes and carrots and whatever you want to in there, and it'll be fine. But until then, grow them in containers so you'll have some.
Yeah, and I prefer to grow my carrots in the raised planter too, because that soil is nice and loose in there. So my carrots did a lot better in the raised planter than they did
Lorrie.
in the container. So
hi, Lorrie.
I learned every
Hey,
year.
Hello.
Hi, Lorrie.
Late as usual.
Late. That's fine. You're perfectly on time.
You're fashionably late.
Hello,
neighbor. Yeah. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always thought that was weird show.
Oh, Mr. Rogers? Yeah, a little bit, huh?
Yeah. I don't know.
They should put, they ought to do a version with Jason Avers. That'd be really cool.
What?
Taking off his gardening boots and putting on his little Tasmanian devil slippers,
I don't know. I mean, all of those kids shows come off as incredibly creepy to me.
Yeah, they do something about creepy vibes, don't they?
Especially Barney.
Something about adults giggling and rolling around. So, I don't know.
I think it's about the adults playing down to the kids. Maybe is the thing that's creepy about it. And I figure kids shouldn't be played down to. The idea is we're supposed to be bringing the kids up.
Yeah.
So you don't want to talk down to the kid. You want to, get the kid accustomed to growing more and more responsible for themselves and their thoughts and their actions and becoming an adult. So talking down to them doesn't help.
Yeah.
Maybe whenever they're babies, but there's the transition from I'm a baby to now I'm a toddler. Now I'm growing to be a young adult, and the way we interact with kids needs to change.
Teletubbies was a weird one.
That's a micro thing.
Oh yeah, that was a weird show. That one.
Yeah, we had one called Rambling Rod, and he wore this vest with all these buttons and stuff all over it. And the kids, back when I was younger, the kids were all into it, and I'm like,
all right,
no.
But sounds kind of like a hobo, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he's a hobo with flair.
I could not get into it.
It's a hobo with flair. Oh no!
I was more into Little House on the Prairie and Smurfs.
Yeah.
Like that. Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
Woody Woodpecker.
That sounds like the kind of stuff I like too. I've never transplanted radishes. Has anybody else done that? I've always they come in so quickly. They're like the first thing to produce in the garden. Literally, you put them in there, boom. That's like the first thing to.
I would do both.
Oh yeah, it might freeze tonight in those low spots. So,
hi Nora, welcome in.
Yeah, do both.
Keep an eye out. It might freeze in some low areas tonight.
I had the Stock Explorer. Yeah, so
it's getting a little chilly outside. If you're in zone 6, zone 7, middle of the country somewhere.
Yeah, I bet it's cold.
Like Jan is out by Lake Stockton.
Oh, okay. So I'm zone 8B, and a lot of people that are West Coast are 8B. But the thing is my last frost date is at the end of April.
Yeah. Well, you have warm currents coming up from the south there that help you out too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we went from 8A to 8B, which
hey,
is
Jason, I got a question for you.
Why?
So, explain to us what the number is about and what the letter is about on the gardening zone. Because you know you don't.
I have no idea what the letter is about. the number, it's an arbitrary system designed to track the number of growing days in your growing season you have, but it only goes so far, and there's like subzones. I guess it's the subzones is the reason why they give it a letter, but
because I'm A and she's B, and we're like,
what's the difference?
Yeah, Texas and Oregon. I mean, it's still snowing there.
Well, okay. So there is a big difference between Texas and Oregon growing zones, just like there's a big difference between Oklahoma 7A and New Jersey 7A. Yeah. And for the same reason. Okay, so in New Jersey 7A, they got warm currents coming up from the Atlantic, and that changes the exact days that they have. They still have the same number of days. About 200 days frost free. That's zone 7A.
So that's what the number has.
The number is based on your frost free days. Yeah.
Grow.
But it doesn't tell you when those frost free days are.
Yeah.
I have 183 days for my growing.
That's interesting because I actually have more days than you, and I live further north. Isn't that funny?
Aren't you in Oklahoma and she's in Oregon?
That's just the way the currents work out. The weather patterns work out, so we get a few more frost-free days up here. Weird, huh? And they get, I think they get a whole lot of. They get even more in Oregon, and they're even further north than we are. If you draw the line around the world, Oregon's well north of where we are here in 7A.
I'm actually classed as 8B too, and I'm up on Vancouver Island.
Mm-hmm. Is that warm Pacific current? It changes everything for you.
But it's funny, there are other areas around me that are classed as 8A, and even some that are classed as 7.
Yeah.
Huh.
Depending on where you are on the island, there's a lot of fluctuation. There's fluctuation in height.
But if you head straight east from where you are, you're in Manitoba, and it is frosty out there.
Yeah. Manitoba is frosty.
Well, I even noticed, because I'm a little higher elevation than the next town to me, and they sometimes will get snow, and I won't, or sometimes I will and they won't, or the cherry blossoms will bloom down there before they bloom up here. So it's just weird.
Thanks, DJ.
Oh my goodness!
In Oregon,
I just realized something.
What's that?
I've got an announcement.
Okay.
You guys know I've been trying to grow hazelnuts here in Oklahoma, and I use improved varieties from Oregon State University. I've got Doris, I've got Yamhill, I've got Jefferson, and Etta. Those four different varieties of hazelnut. Those are all from OSU, Oregon State University, not Oklahoma State University. And I've had them. The longest one I've had them is for 8 years now. This is the 8th year, and I have not got any nuts at all. But this year number 8, the Yamhill cultivar hazelnut is producing female flowers.
Yay!
So finally, we will be getting to see hazelnuts. Yay!
That's awesome.
So they will grow here.
So good.
They will grow here. I was worried. I was worried we were never going to see any, but they are growing.
That took a long time. Is it because they had to adjust to the different climate?
I think so. Yeah. But the one that seems to be doing the best is Yamhill. If anybody is looking for one that Oregon State produced that is going to do well out here on the prairie,
Yamhill is just another town in Oregon.
Yeah.
Hello.
Like a farmland.
I don't know how they came up with the names for them. They just picked them. But.
Yeah. Well, like Walla Walla onions come from Walla Walla, Oregon.
Washington. Yeah. Oh, I thought it was Washington. Oregon. Is it Oregon?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
My Walla Walla onions are up. I'm Walla Walla excited.
They have a town called Boring.
Danny K lied to me.
I used to live in Phoenix, Oregon when I was a kid.
Ooh. They have a Dalles. It's spelt the same as Dallas, but Dalles, Oregon. So we always call it Dallas, Oregon, but it's really Dalles.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I lived in Oregon for many years, many years on the coast.
Part?
Anywhere near, I could say that.
Newport. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm closer to Astoria.
Okay.
Like where they filmed the Goonies.
Yeah.
But not too close. Like, I'm not coastal region at all, but
right. Okay.
Yep.
Mima and Dave.
They're doing good. Mima's getting a little slower, getting a little older.
Yeah, aren't we all?
Yeah. But they're both doing good.
I'm not getting older.
me neither.
I've seen what happens. I've decided not to do it.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah, nah.
You know what happens?
I don't want to either.
I've decided I'm gonna get. I'm 7 now. I'm gonna get to 9, and I'm gonna start over.
Well, I was 21 for a long time, so I don't really know how old I am anymore.
There you go.
For many of us, the clock, we stopped the clock at 29.
Your age, you add them together until you've got just a single digit, and then keep on like that. That's all you got to do. And you'll never get old. I think it works. I'm not sure. I'll let you know in another 40 or 50 years if it works or not.
I'll have to take you because there's so many movies that were made.
Yeah. Kindergarten Cop was made in Astoria.
The what?
Kindergarten Cop.
Yep, I've been there.
Why do you be eating the other kids' lunches? Stop it.
What's the movie? Oh my gosh. There was a movie made where there was this military dad and his daughter and they lived in the woods. You guys are like, huh? Huh? Anyways, yeah, just so many movies like the Simpsons, nuclear plant, Trojan nuclear plant used to be like an hour away from me. Halloween Town,
Alfonso,
Twilight, so many things.
Oh boy.
Yeah, well, it's such a pretty place.
I think the only place I was ever at that I know for sure they made a movie is I lived in Rhode Island, but I used to visit Newport, and there was a mansion there where they filmed the movie True Lies.
Oh, cool.
That was cool. The ballroom.
The wrecking ball scene.
It's called
the ballroom dancing, where they're waltzing. Jamie Lee Curtis and Arnold Schwarzenegger are ballroom dancing.
Really?
And
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, you should watch it. It's pretty good.
Did he say, "I'm Arnold"?
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
That's the one where they blew the bridge up, right?
I think so, yeah. And then there was the airplane hanging scene, and there's some good stuff in there. It's an action flick with a little comedy and romance. It's got a little bit of everything. It's got a little bit of something for everybody. The guys and the girls. Everybody.
The movie that I was talking about with the dad and the daughter that lived in the woods it's called Leave No Trace. And it's based off of a true story. And he had a little PTSD, and I think mom passed away when the daughter was young or a baby or something. Anyways, really, really good movie. But it was filmed like an hour away the other way from me. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. And I think we have the most like serial killers.
Oh, perfect.
Here's what we're going to brag about today. We have the most serial killers. How are you?
Well, because you've got Highway 101, which runs across the whole Pacific coastline, all the way down from Washington, Oregon, California, so they travel that. Those peoples.
I started watching this Hallmark series, but it's actually a sci-fi series on Hallmark, and it's called The Way Home. And I watched the first series of it. And the guy, when they were talking about, after the series ended, I listened to the guy talking about it. He was like, yeah, it's like cry-fi instead of sci-fi, cry-fi. But yeah, it's really good. And now I want him to come out with the second season because I thought it was really interesting. And all I'm going to tell you is it has to do with time travel, but it's really good. The Way Home.
I watched this one show called Silo. It's on Apple TV, and it was really good. I watched the first year season, and it's about these silos in the ground. They're huge, and the people that live in there's levels, and they have staircase that goes around in the middle, and they're not allowed to go outside because they have the fear that they won't make it outside. And they have things called relics. So if people find a Pez dispenser or something from our time, they can get in trouble, and they have to go outside and clean the camera lens. And they have a fake they have a fake screen out there that shows the people that it's all desolate and stuff like that.
Huh.
It's a good show. It's not creepy or anything, but it's very interesting if you're into
it sounds interesting.
Survival kind of shows.
Yeah, it sounds familiar to something else I've watched, but a little bit different.
It's somebody else's StreamYard.
Yeah, definitely
Brenda's sneaking behind me there.
No, you can't see them because of the green screen.
Right.
AKA your wings.
Good night, Jan.
That's why I have a green screen. Great. It's great. You won't be able to see what a pigsty of the house looks like. There you go. See, I have nice, pretty flowers behind me instead of a messy room.
Yeah, I know when you
I'm
get.
sure everybody loves my green screen.
Oh,
I have a good. Do that, right? You could put the screens behind you.
I have one behind me.
But yeah, I'm actually outdoors under the porch, so no green screen here actually.
Yeah, that really is her background.
Arielle's place looks good.
Every once in a while, you could hear a screaming bird, and I told Arielle, I said, "Man, you have some bratty, spoiled birds there.
What are you doing over there?
Y'all must feed them or something because they are bratty."
I keep seeing them fly by every once in a while.
I'll show you guys something really cool. So see that? Can you see it?
The dog?
Yeah. There was this lady. That's my dog that I had to put down a few years ago. But this lady painted it with coffee.
Coffee.
Oh, wow.
All coffee.
Wow.
Yeah. Is that cool?
Yeah.
So that's a painting, and it's done with coffee.
Mm-hmm.
That
I have a couple that were done of my cows too, and it's pretty cool. That's some talent.
It's done coffee stained. Take a blank white postcard. I mean, an index card, and put it into coffee. But regular coffee from the pot doesn't work as well as if you put instant coffee, and you leave that for a while, and it makes the blotches to make it look like it's really old.
Kind of like antiquing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really fun. It looks cool. So if you ever want to make a really cool recipe card or something, you could do that and then let it dry and everything, and then write out your recipe and look really neat.
Yeah.
I did that once to make a fake treasure map, to playing with friends, but I didn't realize that was a preferred method for doing it.
Yeah.
I need something to make this look stained, and like we got coffee, and I didn't have real coffee. I had instant. So
coffee works better. I've tried both.
I didn't know it was a preferred method.
I used to burn the edges of paper with flame.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know, like, I don't know.
Did y'all see that video where Heather took the?
Come on, then.
She was making a craft, and she took it and burned the outside of it off.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't even catch fire. It just burned the edge off. That was so cool.
Well, you got to make sure that your glue that you use, whether it's regular white glue, you have to make sure that all the edges are covered with and it's still wet. That's what keeps it from not burning more. So, but you can use wood pieces or metal pieces. And it just, that way you don't have to cut out all the little details. And it makes it nice.
That was neat. I didn't know you were going to do that. When you started burning it and it went around without burning anything, I was like,
yeah, that's really fun.
What was going to happen.
Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Oh, yeah. Too bad I didn't have like one of those little abracadabra and
I'll tell you what, it was a lot of fun when I was a kid making a map and going and burying a treasure and then playing pirates with my friends. So we found and of course, I got to keep my mouth shut and not tell them they have to figure it out for themselves. Right. But all that process, it started out with a rainy day craft and it ended with, having fun with my friends and in nature, hunting down a buried treasure. It was a box full of pennies. But,
Yeah. Charles was going. Do you still have your metal detector?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about as far as it's gotten. I need to get out and do that more.
I really want one.
Good night.
I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
One of my favorite shows before we canceled cable was watching the Curse of Oak Island.
Oh, yeah.
Did they ever find anything? I mean, did they ever find the treasure?
I don't think that they found the treasure, but they found a lot of neat artifacts. And I like geological, historical, like digs and stuff like that. So I find it fascinating.
I think they found something like a Roman coin or something out there and a few other odds and ends.
Yeah, a lot of military coinage from like all throughout all time. Yeah. A lot of military buttons and like the old railroad stuff that was buried like feet underground where they did docks and stuff. So it's pretty cool.
And all of the stuff that other treasure hunters had left behind was of some interest too.
Yeah. I like the cabbage farmer, Mr. Ball. Mr. Ball was and nobody get offended. I mean nothing by it. He was a slave and got freed, and he moved on to the island and had a little chunk of the land on the island. Right. And he was just a cabbage farmer and ended up buying more land on the island and other islands and had apparently done very well selling cabbage.
Cabbages.
So it's like really, it's neat because they still have part of the foundation where his house was.
Oh, that's cool.
That's still there. So
well, I hope my cabbages do so well for me. I planted a bunch.
Yeah. Well, back in that day, your traveling back when he lived there was by ship. And so, I mean, I guess you would have to, because they ate a lot of cabbage, fermented cabbage to prevent scurvy. So.
Yeah. I like sauerkraut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And some kielbasa.
Yeah.
Harder to grow kielbasa.
Yeah.
You can't plant those pork seeds, unfortunately. Just sprinkle them down there, put a little bit of salt in the
Yeah.
water, man. They come up, you pick your little piggies off. Nope. A little bit more work involved.
Yeah. You can grow little piglet seeds.
Yeah,
But-
sure would make it easy, wouldn't it? Pork chops and bacon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bacon bits.
Well, one of these days, if I have the space for it, I would like to experiment with some kind of small, maybe not necessarily pig, but maybe something like a javelina. They get maybe 30, 40 pounds, and they're related, so they probably taste similar. I don't know if they're any good for bacon.
You want to be careful and make sure that, when you buy a pig from someone, whether just for the meat or to raise out yourself, that it's not a lard pig.
Yeah.
Like you don't want too much fat.
Right.
Like a well marbled meat where it's like balanced.
Pecorary. That's what those little critters are called. The javelinas. They're actually pecораries.
Huh.
And they're related to the full size pigs, but they live in various niche climates all around the world, and they're small. So
Are they smaller than the coon?
I'm not sure. I think they're in the like 35 to 40, maybe 50-pound range on the average.
Cute.
So if you can figure out a way to keep them in a backyard, maybe you could keep a couple. I don't know.
So your pork chop would be like that big?
You probably turn them all into sausage or roast the whole thing.
Yeah.
But
that's something that I haven't done yet. We had some neighbors that before we moved out where I'm at, some neighbors from Peru, and they did a banana leaf roast in the ground with the pig in it. So you wrap the pig with banana leaves, and it makes it yummy.
I'm coming over.
Are you leaving, Lorrie?
No, I was saying hello to Christine and good night to Dana.
She's waving, so I didn't know if she was trying to say goodbye quietly.
He's
Hello,
like, gross.
Mrs.
Don't talk about that.
Welcome in.
Yeah, that's something we used to buy, talking about roast whole pigs in Thailand quite often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a luau.
Yeah. Now that's
roast suckling pig, and you'd buy them off from certain street food places and that sort of thing. And my goodness,
they eat
so delicious.
We have backyard ducks. That's just pretty easy to keep a few ducks in the backyard. You can have backyard fish. That's not too hard to do. And the question is, can you have backyard pigs? You can't really get away with backyard cows. It's just they're going to require a bit more space.
Goats will be a little difficult too.
Goats are difficult too because they really do have more grazing requirements than you can really meet inside of a backyard. Unless you've got a really big backyard, you get maybe half an acre. You can probably handle it.
Yeah, that's true.
Goat. Not really a family of goats, but a goat. Probably do about 2 or 3 goats per acre, but you need to have at least an acre.
Yeah.
Probably the biggest problem with goats is they want to get out all the time.
Yeah. And then when they do, they eat like, the foam rubber off your bicycle or something crazy, like.
Did that happen before, Gail?
No.
Shoelaces.
No, I've never had a goat.
They'll take a bite out of everything.
That they'll eat anything. They'll eat a plastic cup, a basket, a piece of cloth. I mean, I've never had them. I've just heard they will eat anything. So,
they will take one bite out of everything.
Yeah, at least one.
I love my goats.
They don't want it after that.
My goats have never escaped. They don't eat anything but hay and grain.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm lucky.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
I don't know.
Like I said, they'll take one bite out of everything, but they won't eat everything. They'll just taste it and go.
Yeah. I just made up the eating the bicycle seat, and Lisa said it really happened. I just made that up, but she said that really happened to her.
I thought that was a story that you were sharing.
Never had goats in my life, but I had a friend over in Abilene that she said her goats ate everything. So
yeah, some of them do.
Yeah, I had a goat that if you stopped walking and he'd come up and chew the little plastic things off your shoelaces.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the aglets.
Nobody in the family had the little plastic things on their shoelaces.
That's funny. Well, over here in this little town, there's a little, I don't know, where the water drains, when you flood. Well, they actually took that area and they gated it off and put a bunch of goats out there, and the goats ate it all down. Now you could tell there was specific things they didn't like.
Yeah.
They would have to go and mow that down themselves at the end. But yeah, they ate that pretty clean, let me tell you. So they actually have goats for hire.
Yeah, some do, like mine don't.
That's a service, goats for hire. I didn't know. I was just like, what is going on here? I pulled over the car and I parked and I walked up to the man and I was like, what is happening here? He's like, the goats will eat it down. So a few days later, I went back and it was all ate down. And I think I made a video on it. It was probably like 3 years ago.
I wonder what kind they were.
Oh. Look up the video and
yeah, they didn't have long fingers.
And then see if I talk. I know I talked to the man.
We had Nubians, Sanas, and Toggenburgs on our farm, about 140 some odd mixed. Yeah. That was fun. No, it wasn't. It was way too many animals. Way too many animals. Yeah, the folks got a few, and we'll have a few goats. We'll have a few goats. We'll milk a few goats, and they got those. And then they got a few more.
Gail.
And then they got a few more. And by the time they got to getting a few more, the first set had reproduced about twice, and then the second set had reproduced once. And then by the time the third buy of goats was beginning to reproduce, we realized we had a problem on our hands.
I have two goats, a female and one fixed one. No babies.
That's good. Keep it there.
Okay, let me answer your question. Christine wants to know about my new collab. I think I might have said something in the chat earlier. So I'm going to have a new collab called Garden Tour Club. So basically what it is people who do gardening tours on their channel during the summer. Some will do them monthly or bi-monthly or just monthly. And I'm going to put those in a playlist. And they're basically just going to like mutually support each other. And I'm going to do like a monthly giveaway. And I'm just going to draw off of one of the collaborators' videos on that. And it's just kind of supporting each other during the summer while everybody's doing their gardening. That's basically what it is. But I have the official announcement video coming out on Monday. So we'll just.
That's a good idea.
Trying something new. So that's what she was asking. I meant to say something earlier, but we got talking about other stuff. And
wow. Our Georgia Suburban Homestead said they had a goat drink turpentine once, and she burped pine tree breath for weeks.
Oh boy.
Wow, that's funny. I brought my bull, my male cow home in my Suzuki. He was only like 50 pounds at the time.
To be hard to pull off, right?
I had a Rhode Island Red that would drink tequila.
Huh.
A rooster, yeah.
So you had to bottle feed him.
Yeah.
Only shots.
Out, Charles.
Huh?
How did you find that out?
It was sitting on the table, and he went over and drank the whole shot.
It just got left behind somehow.
So if you're interested in joining the collaboration, if you'll send me an email to gailssouthernliving@yahoo.com. That's basically how you enter to be in the club.
And you have to do garden tours.
Ooh, we're in a garden club. Woohoo!
Do they have to be tours of your garden, or can you tour anybody's garden?
Who gardens?
Teach one.
I think most all of us do. Yeah, all of us do.
I don't garden. I just plant trees and stuff.
Well, you have stuff to teach. Reach one, teach one.
I still love the guy that comments all the time, stop doing gardening channels on a prepping, or stop doing gardening videos on a prepping channel.
Yeah. Well, number one, I'm prepping.
Gardening part of prepping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of a big part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that I noticed is that I don't think there is a huge difference between preppers and homesteaders.
No, there isn't. I went straight from
they were the first. They were the first preppers.
Yeah,
they are.
Mm-hmm.
Any long-term prepping strategy is going to be homesteading.
Yeah,
right, and that's what our great grandparents did. All the stuff everybody's doing.
Yeah, that's why I don't like because I've been told, well, you should change your name to Bushcraft Prepper, and I said I don't call myself a prepper.
Thank you.
It's I rather call myself a survivalist or something like that. Yeah. I don't like the word prepper.
Right. Yeah.
There shouldn't be such a negative, thing attached to it. Like.
Oh yeah, there is. I mean,
somebody's at my house and I have a half-gallon mason jar full of salt, and they're looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, you got to put some salt on stuff, or it's not going to taste very good. At least a little bit.
Yeah, I think the perfect name to combine everybody on both sides is Prepsteader.
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 I think there's a channel that has that in their.
Do they? Yeah. Probably.
The connotation people get whenever they hear the word prepper is you're preparing for something bad to happen, like you have a negative outlook or something like that. And that's not the case at all. Well, I guess maybe for some people it is. They're worried about the bad things, so they're going to be prepared to be able to deal with it. But being prepared simply means that you're able to meet those challenges whenever things that do happen in life happen, and everybody is having. At some point in their life is going to be having the end of the world as they know it. It's not a major cataclysm. It's every day that people need to have preparations. You need a spare tire in your car. Probably a good idea to have a blanket and some water and maybe something in the wash in case you're going to be stranded in the winter in your car. That's being prepared. It's not necessarily. I think the world's going to end. I don't think the world's going to end. I think there's going to be changes in the world.
There's a lot of different kinds of emergencies that could come up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of
we could all have
something being an emergency and something being a nice way to spend an afternoon is. Were you prepared?
Yeah. You could lose not being able to use your cell phone, internet. Wow, that just happened. Right?
Yeah. Everybody freaked out about that one.
I was out for about 3 or 4 hours, and I used to think it was so crazy when the junior high kids freaked out about it. But I admit I felt a little disabled myself. I don't know why, but I was just like, "What is wrong with you? You should not be so attached to your phone."
Right. I didn't even know about it until it was over.
Can you put up? That.
No, I left my phone at home, so I didn't know.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah,
That's a good one.
It was on the charger. I didn't even bother to look at it.
Yeah.
I've got my phone in my pocket all day long, but I don't use it all day long.
I have it running on video.
I can't do hay and all the things that I do.
Right.
With one hand.
I usually get somebody's kind of long video going and then just let it go. Don't quote me on what's in the video because I'm not gonna know. So if my comment sounds like I didn't listen to the whole thing, I might not.
I didn't.
But at least I'll let it play.
Hi, just popped in to let you know I watched 5 minutes of this video, but I let it roll.
Yeah, I think it's good. Yeah, trying to be more self-sufficient like our ancestors. Exactly, and that's why I got my property. That was the goal that me and my husband had, is to get back to like how our great-grandparents and stuff lived as much as we could.
Yeah. Can't have freedom without independence.
Right.
So you have to develop your independence.
Yeah.
Independence and self-responsibility.
And like for me, like I didn't grow up, I knew nobody who canned. I didn't even know that existed growing up. Like I didn't learn any skills other than like Alaskan skills.
Hi, Susan. I said hi to her or not.
So I had to self-teach myself, but like what I do is I find a topic that I need to know of, and then I go out searching for the right answer for me.
Yeah.
You know,
it's hard nowadays because there's so many experts out there that don't know their nose from a hole in the floor.
Me. Well, it is like you look up a simple question on just like Googling it or whatever, and you read like 5 to 10 of them, and there's like 5 different answers. That's not even on like, and it's like, okay, well, I guess I'm just gonna go with what I think I have to do.
I was watching a short. This young girl was saying, I come up with the perfect cleaning solution. And she said, it's just 2 ingredients. You mix bleach and ammonia together, and it's a great.
No.
Oh, that could be trouble.
What are you doing?
End up on the floor dead.
Yeah.
No.
And that's the thing. Everybody would sit there and listen. Oh, she must know what she's talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to be careful. Like, I think it's important that we say to do your research, but I'm afraid that that'll be used a lot by us to make sure, because we're trying to make sure everybody does their research, that it'll become too uncommon. They'll be like, well, their stuff's probably good then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you make a video and you find out your recipe wasn't good, your gardening tip wasn't good, whatever you did in the video did not turn out well, then you should delete the video, in my opinion. And I've done it myself. Because I don't want to say do this and then it doesn't work for you.
Or come back and footnote the video and say, hey, here's an update on this video. Let people know.
Yeah.
Here's 1 year later, and here's a link to the results 1 year later.
Yeah.
And show them what happened after that.
Well, sometimes you're just trying things out, so you don't know if it's going to work yet.
A lot of times I'm trying things out.
Yeah. I know me in the garden, I'll listen to someone's tip and I'll try it once.
Make it is she does a lot of canning and stuff. What she'll do is she'll make it.
Yeah, but somebody else
she'll can the stuff and everything.
Yeah. It's got earbuds in listening to her.
She will try it and tell you, oh, it didn't turn out good, or oh, it was wonderful.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
She'll find an old recipe like potatoes or something.
There's a bit of difference between here's a unique new way of starting tomatoes, and we're going to try a novel canning recipe. I mean, if you don't get the tomatoes right, then I guess you didn't get your tomatoes. You get the canning recipe wrong, somebody got sick or dead. So,
yeah.
True.
Well, I think having resources, like I use this book, you follow the recipe, like you have to make very clear multiple times. You have to do the research, and you can give them resources too, but yeah.
That's why I say don't listen to me. I'll give you the idea. You go out and do your own research.
Do it better than me. Don't do it like
just
me.
like the you know, all the tinctures and stuff. I have stuff that works great for me, but I don't tell anybody that they can do it. I can tell them what it's good for, but then that's up to them to go find out. That's the
like
thing.
I have elderberry in my tea. Elderberry syrup.
And just because it may cure something, I don't know what these people are their other prescriptions or whatever they're taking.
Yeah.
If it will react to them. That's why they have to do their own research.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Very good. Yep. I think most of us know, but there's still, you know, a lot out there that are.
That's why I kind of hate doing a video of something I'm kind of doing for the first time, because if someone's trying to follow it, I might not be doing it right.
Right.
Especially when it's something like starting your sourdough or something. I can't give advice. I don't know what I'm doing. I try to just I'm a newbie. It says beginner right there. I'm not trying to tell you anything. I don't know nothing.
Well, some of those that you fail at are really good teachers, though.
Yeah.
When you fail at something, you can tell them, hey, the reason why this didn't. Well, I did the sourdough starter with Needy Homesteader. We both messed up because the recipe in the book was wrong, first of all.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I was using tap water. Mm-hmm. And you can't use tap water because it's chlorinated. So it killed the enzymes that made the sourdough. And I was like, what? Well, every time I go to add the water, it goes back down again. And then I figured it out. And that's when I started using distilled water, and poof, it went crazy.
I know I have a problem with sourdough starter. I've been saving all the discard. I plan on making a whole bunch of like English muffins and different things and freeze.
Yeah, pretzels.
Yeah.
Pancakes. Yeah. Pizza dough. Yeah, there's tons of stuff.
Yeah. So, but I'll just probably do that like every 3 months, where I do save it all and make a big batch of stuff, and then just keep it at a smaller amount because I don't eat bread really ever.
Tortillas, maybe.
Yeah.
We do some tortillas around here, and not much. I try to avoid bread because
I did pancakes this weekend, and they didn't get cooked all the way because the discard was thick. But I'm gonna mix a little bit of water in it to thin it out. The flavor wasn't bad. It's just they wouldn't cook because the batter mixture was so thick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna head off to bed because it's getting late, and I have to get my beauty sleep, as you can tell.
Well, it looks light outside.
Tell your wife hello for me.
I will whenever she gets home.
Okay.
She's been running back and forth between Texas and up north furiously last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I asked her where she traveled, and she said Dallas. I don't really like to drive there, but if she went to Abilene or something, I would totally drive up there to meet her again or hang out or something. But
I think she's been going down to Amarillo.
Is there a country song about Abilene?
Abilene, prettiest town I ever seen.
Yeah.
Abilene. There you go.
They've got songs about all those little cattle towns.
Yeah,
anyway, it's nice seeing y'all. I'm gonna go to bed before I.
You don't want to meet me? Our Georgia suburban wants to meet you, Gal.
Thank you for coming up, Jason.
Bye, Jason.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Jason.
Hey, Billy.
My live ended, thank God. He always says he's shy, but then he gets up there and makes all these jokes. He cracks me up.
I have to let the dog out of my room. Hold on.
Did your live end, or did you get kicked out of the house?
Or did you get a divorce because you were talking too loud, Billy?
And did you ever plant a seed?
Yeah, he had the seed tray in front of him.
The dog.
I took a paper towel and did the paper towel method on a video, but we didn't have the camera angle. We were just like trying to hold it. But my pepper seeds actually did sprout, and I have them in a little pot under the grow lights. So, and now I have my second set of 3 under.
Hi, Budget Prepper. Hi, Martina. So, Gail, I'm going to have to run. I got to go lock up the chickens.
Okay.
It's dark now.
Okay.
But thank you, everybody.
Thank you. We'll see you later.
Yeah. Thank you. Have a good night.
Arielle, did your roommates start a garden, like vegetables or anything?
They grow like a few things like tomatoes and that, but more flowers.
Mostly flowers.
And yeah, mostly flowers. Nobody here really eats a lot, so it's hard to deal with so many things if you grow it. But yeah, lots of flowers here, and of course everyone could grow things if they wanted to.
Yeah, now that there's less people up here, I can totally hear the birds. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's like now I can.
Yeah, I guess because there's less people talking, so the birds sort of sound a bit more, and less microphones sort of picking, the surrounds where everybody else is, I guess.
Yeah.
You can see them buzzing by there every once in a while.
Oh yeah, plenty of birds around here, and the butterflies and all of that. Here where I'm at is pretty much on the edge of suburbia, so it's not very far to go to farmland and farms, or even forest or something like that. So it's really good. We're not sort of stuck right in the middle of suburbia.
Yeah, I actually didn't put the link out in the chat because I had a couple of people that were just ever so slightly harassing me, so I didn't put it out.
Oh.
I actually emailed it to about 10 or 12 of my closest friends, and so that's the people who got the link. So if I had your email, a lot of the people. I just kind of went. I put in A, and I was like, okay, who's there? Okay, Arielle. B, okay, Bushcraft. I just did. That's how I did it, basically.
Yeah, it's Budget Preppers. I'm currently located in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia.
It wasn't any like specific list. It was just kind of random. And Heather goes, well, what if you get too many people? I'm like, well, really, out of all this time, it only happened one time. Jason waited in the basement for a little while. Yeah, people never know what date I'm doing. So and it comes from a weird email. So I put on there from gailssouthernliving, this specific date and time. So people aren't confused because then they don't know what date it is.
Yeah, you just put tomorrow.
Did I
put? Like, I don't remember when I got this, and I had to look at the date. I thought it was actually for yesterday. I was going to say, well, I'm already live on Monday, so
yeah,
that's not going to work.
I don't know. I thought I got it right, but maybe I didn't get it right. I mean, I typed it so many times, and I kept trying to get it to copy paste, and then for some would. I go to plop it down, and it'd be trying to put a link. It'd be trying to put that link to the live instead of the words that I typed afterwards. I was like, oh man.
Oh yeah.
I had to just keep typing it. So I was just sitting there forever doing this. Finally, I was like, I don't know if everybody got it, but That's all. That's all. That's all I'm doing for today. Anyway, some people were like, I can't come. I was like, it's fine. I invited several people, you know. It's not like an obligation. It's just if you have time. But yeah, I'm supposed to be on the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch tomorrow. Gail, you need to, because to everyone, so you can write one email and just send the same to everyone. Yeah, I know. I tried to do that, but it kept pulling the link instead of the words that I typed. So it was just a pain in the butt.
Well, there's like if I'm sending out a bunch of emails, there are some people that don't want their email to show up in a list. So I email each person separately.
Yeah, I have a group text, and people on my group text, there's like 8 or 10 people. And so, you know, 2 different people in the group ask if they could have the names of the people that the numbers are attached to, but it's
Yeah.
group. And I was like, well, let me ask the people.
Yeah.
Right? Because 2 different people had asked me out of 10 people. And so I was like, well, let me see. So I typed it in the group chat. I said, if you don't mind everyone in this group knowing who you are, you know, type your just type your name and your channel name so they know who it is. So everybody did it except one. So then I emailed that one individually and said, hey, do you mind if I put your name in the group chat? And they're like, no, that's fine. So I wanted to get permission because I don't want to be giving out everybody's phone number.
Yeah.
So anyway, we have this little private chat that we talk about, like videos we're promoting, and if someone needs watch hours, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I gave Jan my number because I was looking at property in Missouri, and there was some place that was real close to her area, and she said she would go and look at it and whatnot. But before that, because they needed somebody, a woman contacted me and said she would let me take over payments if I paid a certain amount, and to find out, she wanted a man to move in with her. I was like, no.
Oh.
Yeah. And take over the payment and take over the role of, you know, that. I was like, no.
No, I am not your sugar daddy. Thank you.
Nope.
Wow. That's interesting. That's funny.
Yeah, her husband left her with the property and everything. 4 kids, and I was like, no, I'm not doing that.
Nope. You got you and your son, right, already to take care of. So that's that's enough. I got like cats and chickens and a husband, and a couple of stepdaughters. Of course, they're grown now. They're big. But they still kind of need taken care of sometimes. But anyway, they can take care of themselves. At this age, it's hard to get them to let you do anything for them.
Yeah.
I actually offered to give one of my daughters my car because we inherited a truck and we had an extra vehicle. She didn't want it.
Wasn't fancy enough?
I suppose it was not. I'm like, oh my goodness. When I was your age.
Oh yeah.
I would already have those keys in my hand. I would have been begging on my knees to have a car. But
yeah,
no.
I remember I got a vehicle for $75. I was lucky it got down to the end of the road. The bumpers kept falling off. I had the coat hangers holding the bumpers up. But I love that car because it was mine. I could go wherever I wanted to and whatnot. It worked until I saved up and got me a better one.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually going to be driving the truck. I was offering her my car.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to teach myself how to drive a truck. So I'll be driving hubby's truck, and hubby will be driving his father's truck, and my car was available. So I offered it to my daughter, who is my stepdaughter. So she should have just been like, oh, thank you. But no, she was not. I was like, wow, whatever. At least I treat her like my own daughter. I offered it to her. She just didn't take me up on it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Billy. I don't like fertilizer. I'd rather use my rabbit poop, and I think the only thing I use is bone meal and blood meal. That's it, and rabbit poop. Make a tea with their little turds and pour it in there, and it works better than the stuff you buy it, the chemical stuff.
Do you have rabbits, Charles?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Started with 2.
I have chickens.
There were supposed to be 2 males until I found out that all of a sudden I got baby rabbits running around.
So,
yeah, but that's fine. I got a source of meat with those 2 rabbits.
Oh, I think Ariella lost her sound. No, I can't hear you, Ariella. I saw your mouth move, but nothing out. So something must have happened to your sound. I've never used the blood meal. What's the blood meal supposed to be for?
You got to be careful with that.
I've only used bone meal. I've never used blood meal.
Yeah, nitrogen.
Nitrogen?
Yeah, if you put too much of that in there, it's not good.
Yeah, I've never.
Like I'll do like the eggshells and banana peelings and stuff like that.
Yeah, I do that.
That's natural stuff. There's no chemicals in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just found out about homemade blood meal from Heather from Milk and Honey Heritage Farms. So I'll probably not going to get to make my own until like next year. I'll have to save up some bones for a while. I don't have enough bones for that.
You got a bunch of chickens.
Well, I'm not cutting my chickens. No. I will eat my chickens if I have to. But if I don't have to, I'm not going to be chopping their neck off. Now, if I'm hungry, I'm not a princess. I will eat them, but I don't want to if I don't have to.
And that's the thing, like Billy's saying, when you'll get somebody saying, "Oh, I crushed these eggs up and put them in the garden for my tomato plants this year." It doesn't work that way. It takes a long time for that to break down into the soil.
I heard it's like 3 years. So I just
you can speed it up
as a investment in the future. So 3 years from now, you're still going to be doing gardening. So I'm investing 3 years in the future, and what I did 3 years ago, I'm reaping the harvest on now. So that's how I look at eggshells. Because somebody told me that back when I started first gardening on YouTube.
Yeah,
I remembered that. And so now I keep doing it, but I break mine down to about the size of what I cook it for 7 minutes in the oven at 350, the way I do for the chickens.
Yeah.
And I crush it with an ice cream scoop until it's about the same size as chicken feed. And then I use it. So it's pretty small.
Yeah, I go even more than that. I got a coffee grinder, and I stick it in the coffee grinder until it turns into a powder, and then I put it in water and let it soak in the water, and then pour it out there. It's quicker, but not much quicker.
Yeah. I basically go through the same process as if I was giving it to the chickens, but I just sometimes I give it to the chickens, sometimes I give it to the garden. This time of year, I usually give it to the garden, or I do every other one. I'll give it to the garden, and then I'll give it to the chickens, and I kind of do it because I use it for grit.
Yeah, and vinegar. Yeah, water and vinegar, and that breaks it down quicker.
Vinegar? I didn't know that. I learned something new tonight. There you go.
You can vinegar's good for the garden too.
Yeah,
not much. You have to be careful.
I saw that you could use Epsom salt in your garden. What's that good for?
Oh, I use like on the peppers and tomatoes.
Arielle, peppers and tomatoes.
Yeah, there's a point to where you put it in the like if you know it's going to rain or something, you sprinkle it around the root area when it rains, and then a few days you see it like go crazy. it goes nuts. But
so I'm guessing you mix it with some water. That's what.
Well, that's if I know it's going to rain, I'll sprinkle some around the stem of the plant. That way, when it rains, it does the work for me.
It soaks in.
Yeah.
Oops. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You only usually do it once a year.
I have some. I use it for other things, but I've never used it in the garden. But I keep seeing stuff, but I can't remember what I read about it. Yeah. I think the soil test, doesn't a soil test involve you having to have somebody come out to your house?
That'd be a expensive one. There's different ones. There's the things that you stick in the ground.
Because my house is like Fort Knox.
And that's just your
get into the backyard without being. You have to be on the inside of the yard to get in, or I mean, you have to be on the inside. You can't get in from the outside unless you climb over it.
Okay, then.
I just got tired of people walking up to me while I was out in the garden. I'm like, this is supposed to be my time of zen. Not random strangers and dogs up to me while I'm digging in the garden. And that was my first year I did gardening on YouTube. I'm like, I can't do this, man. And there was dogs digging in my beds before I got stuff in it. I was like, no, we're done with that. So now it's Fort Knox. You pick up a bag from college or local farmer co-op and send it multi-takens. See, our town's pretty small, like 5,000 people. I don't know if we even have that stuff, but maybe we do. Maybe I just don't know where to look.
Yeah,
search for a local farmer co-op.
Yeah, I guess maybe just a Google search or something. Anytime I've ever heard it, I've not been on the computer. Like I'm hearing it right now, but I'm not sitting there playing with my phone. So by time, I'll forget. I'll probably forget. But yeah, people keep telling me that, and I'm like, I'm in a small town. There's like not a whatever you're talking about. We may not have
we don't have that here.
we may not have that here. Hey, we're lucky we have a post office.
Yeah, I just found out today that we have a Starbucks here. It's inside the hospital, the new hospital they built over there. Because I can't sit in the waiting room that long. I have to get up and walk around, and I walk over, and there's a Starbucks in the middle. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Not that I'm ever going to buy any coffee from them, but
yeah, we have like a coffee shop. It's not a Starbucks, some kind of coffee shop. But usually, if I want anything frou like that, I'll just go to McDonald's and get an iced coffee. But I can make iced coffee myself, so I don't really need to.
Coffee shop.
Yeah, there is a coffee shop. I don't go there.
Where?
Over by the WB pharmacy thingy. There's a coffee shop. Soil type. I don't know. Let me tell you how I do soil. I guess what I think, and I get lucky. Okay, I just get lucky. I listen to what people say and what specific plants need what specific things. I try to do that, and I just get lucky. If things grow well, I just got lucky. That's all. I listen, I absorb. I can't even speak half of what I know, but oh, he's showing me this. My brother got me that.
So water wheat.
I listen, I apply what others say. I try things. And yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work, but I just listen.
It's better than not doing anything at all.
It doesn't.
Yeah, I just listen. I apply. Sometimes there's something that doesn't come up in my garden every year. There's something. So
yeah, true
I
enough.
tried 3 years with loofah. This year I decided not trying loofah. We're done with loofah. I still have the seed in case I decide I want to, but they said I should have planted it a little while back.
Yeah.
So we're just not going to do that this year. Maybe next year we'll see if we might try it again. At that point, the seed's probably going to be too old to sprout. But anyway.
You never know.
But the first year I did dill in a pot.
Hey,
It worked. The second year I did dill in the ground in a raised bed. It was like taller than me. So I just keep trying things. And
are you doing your weird container thing?
I don't know for sure. I haven't decided.
Okay.
I haven't decided. I was trying to think if I wanted to do something new or do that again. So we'll see. Still thinking on that one. But yeah, as I'm going through stuff, I've thought of stuff that I wanted to plant. But most of the stuff for the Survival Seed Challenge, most of it is going to be grown in containers. Like my tomatoes, I'm growing in the big shipping container my hubby got me. The kidney beans are being grown in a shipping container, raised bed type thing too. And the peppers, the onions, and the butternut squash are going to be grown in tires. And the beets are planted in big totes. And then a lot of the herbs are in pots. And then some of them, like the dill and stuff, are in my perennial bed that I have that I was working on today. So yeah, I wanted to have all the survival seed stuff together. And then right in the middle of it is all my herbs. So that way, if I'm making a video update of it, it's all together. And then another section of random different other kinds of tomatoes and stuff. So,
yeah.
But the butternut squash grew great in tires last year. I mean, I had tons of it. It was my first year with butternut squash. They went crazy in the tires. So I figured
I get in trouble for growing stuff in tires here.
Yeah. Well, mine's in the backyard. Nobody can see it.
Oh, I've got not so nice neighbors.
Space, though people can see your stuff over there.
Yeah.
Mine's behind a 6-foot fence.
And there's no way a mosquito's going to get inside that tire if it's full of dirt. But you can't have tires. Mm-hmm. I've even painted them.
Yeah.
And still, can't have tires in your backyard.
Yeah, I haven't finished all of them yet, but I actually painted my tires this year because I had to paint the shipping containers that hubby brought me because they were just kind of ugly looking wood. So I had to make it prettier. So I made him buy me a bucket of paint. So I painted those and I had extra. So I'm like, now I need to paint the top, at least the top of the tires. So I'm going to have a very colorful survival seed area. You'll see the coming videos that I'm making. Or if you're on Facebook, you might have seen it already. It's a pretty wild looking color. But anyway, it'll be cool.
I somehow missed that on Facebook. I'll have to go.
I think I posted a video on it. I'm pretty sure I did. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. But yeah, hubby was at the store in our little Walmart. The paint machine's always down. And I'm like, can you pick me up some paint? He's like, the paint is down again. I'm like, well, just get white. I didn't really want to say that because I'm just not just get white person. But I was like, okay, just get white. And he said, oh, but they do have this paint that someone had in their house and they rejected. It wasn't the right color. And he told me what color it was. And I said, okay, get that. So he got it for half price. But it is a wild, it is a wildly bright color. So that's how I ended up with it. That's how I ended up with that color. It was literally the paint someone took home and said no. Yeah. But it's just to make it look a little nicer and just to preserve the wood a little so it'll last longer.
Yeah, for sure. Mine probably need to be repainted one of these years.
Yeah. My purple beds that I did, 3 years ago? Yeah, they're starting to get a little bit faded looking. I don't think I'm going to paint them this year because I'm too busy working on the other. But maybe the next year I might try to repaint those. But yeah, surprising. I just love the raised beds. They're so much easier.
Oh, yeah.
So much easier.
Oh, just so much easier. So I was going through I was doing a little bit of the weeding on my perennial bed. I mean, it's been so warm. It's telling the ground it's spring. It's time to grow stuff. So I'm in there digging and, and everything. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
My garlic's already through the ground and it's like 2-3 inches tall. Probably more than that, but now.
Yeah, my garlic's probably 6 inches.
Yeah.
What did do it in garlic?
Mine didn't come up last year, so I planted extra this year.
Yeah. I haven't been able to get onions up successfully, and I was surprised when my Walla Walla onions and my evergreen bunching onions, both of those are already up. I really wouldn't have even seen the Walla Walla onions. I was down on the ground by the tire, and I was cutting the hubby had mowed the yard but not done the weed eating. So I have these brand new shears, and so they're really sharp because they're brand new. And I was down there cutting the weeds from there, and I looked down. And I was like, oh, "Look, the onions are up. They're little tiny right now."
Yeah.
I knew that's onion, So I was like,
"Yeah."
I've got 2 different types of onions, and then I have garlic chives and chives.
Yeah.
But I don't see anything in those, but I might have to sit down and look closer because.
Yeah, my chives come up. I have to transplant them though, because I got the one elevated raised bed that is starting to die. So I got to move some of my herbs out of there into other containers.
The most excited I was everything was my lavender is up. I was like, yes, because I did it last year.
I hate to smell that.
And I didn't know I didn't know that you were supposed to cold stratify it. So I found that out last year. So this year I did cold stratify it in the freezer, and it's coming up. So I'm really happy about that. So yay.
I did not know you had to cold stratify lavender.
What's that?
I did not know you had to do that with lavender.
That's what they told me last year when I said my lavender's not coming up, and they're like, "Did you cold stratify?" No.
I hear that a lot, but
they said that about chamomile too, but my chamomile came up just fine.
Yeah, I've grown a lot of stuff that is not that they say you have to do that, and
yeah, the chamomile I must have just
it comes up.
It's my first year with chamomile, and it just popped right on up on its own. There's little bunches of it everywhere. You could see where I didn't get in there with tweezers and put down because it's like bunches. I like my lettuce is like these little bunches. Then it comes up, and it's people are like, "What kind of lettuce is that?" I don't know. I win seeds, and people see me. And then in my gardener gives me extra. I just take my lettuce and I have a medicine bottle and I just pour all of them in there and I shake. And right write lettuce on it. I'm a redneck. I'm not separating the lettuce. It's all together. I like all kinds of lettuce. I just put it all together.
That's a good idea.
That's what I do. But I just don't want to have 50 containers of lettuce.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
I like the butter crunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's usually inside.
The only one I don't like is that arugula. That was not my thing. I made a salad with it, and hubby goes,
"You got to get that early.
There's something weird about this lettuce."
Yeah, it'll have a bitter taste to it.
Too. And finally, we figured out it was the arugula. So once I figured out exactly which one it was, I just pulled it out and took a bite of it. I was like, "Oh yeah, that's it." I just fed it to the chickens, and then the next year I put it in something I could give away for someone else to grow it, because people will send you stuff that you don't want. So I have a whole bag of stuff that I don't want, and I think I'm going to give it away at the meetup, at the Ozark meetup. I'm going to put it in the box and just let.
I had somebody in Ohio too, which is good for me, the same climate area. Send me a box of seeds from their garden. It wasn't in packs or anything. It was labeled in different envelopes and different things of what they've been growing and stuff. And I think that's one of the coolest things you can get, is not just seeds from a store, but seeds from somebody's garden that they grew and they saved and harvested. I think that's one of the best gifts you can get.
Let me show you something.
In the box was like 3.5 pounds of seeds, different kinds of seeds.
That's a lot of seed.
Yeah.
So this is my lettuce. This is just mixed lettuce.
Yeah.
And this is my sage I saved from last year in an old pickle jar. So this is going to last as long as it's good.
Does it smell like pickles?
I don't think so. No, it smells like sage.
Sage overpowered the pickle smell.
Oh, well, usually I bleach them. Then I let them dry out all the way before I put stuff in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a plastic pickle jar. But I have to put stuff in here because if you don't, the mice will get to it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's got to be in glass. So I learned that. I learned that the hard way by having my seeds out here. And I don't store them out there anymore.
I've got 6 cats. I have no mice.
Yeah, we don't have mice either.
Well, see that this store is closed, so the cats don't go in here.
Oh, okay.
And there's where the back door is outside of this door. So yeah, they would be in that room. So there's not a cat in there. Now, Curly Sue's pretty good about protecting us from the mice, but
oh, we can't get to them.
But sometimes I'll leave it if I'm in the middle of planting, I'll leave some stuff out there. But my big seed container is in the living room, so it's not out there. I don't leave it out there. But sometimes I'll finish with the lettuce and leave it on the shelf out there.
So are you guys growing anything new this year that you've never grown before?
Always.
Lavender is new. Kidney beans is new for me. I've never grown beets. I've never grown peppercini peppers specifically. I'm going to try to grow carnations. I ordered some from M.I. Gardner, 2 different colors. Oh, spaghetti squash. This will be my first year with spaghetti squash.
Oh, I love spaghetti squash. That's good stuff.
I was reading right.
Yeah, I'm growing new this year is ginger and turmeric. I got them both to start, and
Ooh.
yeah, they're inside, of course. And I got moringa seeds, and 3 of those have now sprouted, so that's fabulous. And what else? Horseradish.
Horseradish.
Oh, that's another good root. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, CNC Farm, I won some seeds from her, and she had sent me last year when I won them savory and borage. So those are new to me.
Yeah, those are good too.
Oh, yeah. And bergamot is new to me. I'm growing that for my tea.
Evidently, you're growing little dinosaurs too.
Little dinosaurs?
Little dinosaurs?
Yeah, you got a little dinosaur running in the background back there on a treadmill or something.
Oh, yes.
He's exercising, so I don't have to.
Yeah, whatever tomato variety that Garden State Gardener I won from him last year, whatever variety that is, I'm going to grow that, but I don't remember. It's something I've never heard of, but it's not that one. I just grow whatever tomato Joe sends me. I don't usually buy any. I just grow.
Well, that's the thing. I had seeds that Joe gave me, and it said it was a cherry tomato. I grew it, and they real big giant tomatoes. They weren't cherry tomatoes at all.
Were they in a store-bought package, or were they in like
no? It was
seed containers.
I don't know if he still does it. The seeds of the month.
Oh, I think I got that 1 month. 1 month.
Yeah, he would give the seeds, about 10, 15 seeds in each packet, and I figured, well, I'll go. I want to try some new cherry tomatoes, and I planted them. And I thought they were, they look like regular tomato plant. And then once they got big, I'm like, boy, that's a really big plant for cherry tomatoes, because usually the stalk is really thin and whatnot, and this stalk was really huge. And pretty soon I said, oh, there's cherry tomatoes. And then I was waiting, and all of a sudden next day I come out and they're bigger. I'm like, that's not a cherry tomato.
Oh, what happened to me last year? I had been sent some, in that seed swap, Indiana Backyard Gardener seed swap, I got some zucchini, but it wasn't zucchini. It was pumpkin. So in the middle of my zucchini was pumpkin plants. I kept looking, going, those leaves look different. And then started putting on the fruit. And we even cut the first one open. We're like, what is this? And finally, I think I might have asked Adrienne. She might have been the one that told me that's a pumpkin. So we cut the first one open. We kind of ruined it. But I got 2 more pumpkins out of that. And that was in my zucchini bed. And then out in my wild garden, my mom had gotten a really pretty white pumpkin. And I just let it die out there. And so I got a couple more pumpkins. And then I got some of those green bumpy gourds. So I like to grow weird gourds, and I got 3 of those bottleneck gourds. So I'm just practicing growing pumpkins and gourds. And
yeah, you need to dry them out, make little cups and stuff with them.
I have them. They're on my gardening table. I haven't decided what to put in them. What to do with them, but I really wanted to try to do the birdhouse, but I wanted
that too. Yeah.
It's so funny because they feel hollow now. They've been sitting all winter under the tree on my gardening table. They've been sitting there all winter, just drying out. And now they feel hollow. I don't know. But that's what somebody told me to do. It might have been our Georgia Suburban Homestead that said, just dry them out.
Yeah, they'll hollow out when you dry them. If they're the gourds, I think they are.
Yeah.
Do they have like a crook neck on them?
Yeah, they have a neck.
Yeah.
Yeah. kind of shaped like a butternut squash. But now now it feels like wood because it's been sitting all summer. It does seem like wood now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be kind of cute to paint one of them just to see. Hollow out the big round part, put a hole, and then paint it. I don't know. I might do 3 different things with each of them.
Yeah.
I have 3. I had quite a bit of cantaloupe last year. Somebody sent me some really good cantaloupe that had ridges in it. I don't know what kind it was. I'd go buy some if I knew what it was, but it was the sweetest cantaloupe I've ever had.
Have you seen the one Billy has? I just call it an ugly cantaloupe. I forget what he calls it, but yeah, it looks like somebody sat on it.
I haven't seen that. I heard him talking about him with his crazy melons and stuff, but no, whatever video or live that's on, I didn't see it. I just saw him with his
I think it was yesterday when he had
seeds.
When he was doing this show.
Oh, he was on Garden State Gardener?
No, Billy Wickershire.
He was on Garden State Gardener on Sunday.
No, that would have been no. He had his own live, and he was showing the seeds that he had
today.
No, I think it was yesterday or the day before.
Oh, okay, yeah, maybe.
And he was showing different melons and stuff, and the one that I liked that looked like it's an ugly looking melon.
Yeah, I got about 13 of those green gourds that have the bumps on the outside, the kind you get from the store, where my mom and I would just buy pumpkins and gourds, to put on our porch. And then I'd take hers and mine and just put them out in the wild garden. Didn't do anything to them, and they would just start coming up on their own. Wow. Craziest planting method ever. Just don't do anything to them. But it works. Last year's seeds was 2023.
Yeah, a lot of times the volunteers, I usually have volunteers from the previous year, and I try to keep those in to grow again, if anything, just to get the seeds from them. Yeah.
So I've had tomatoes volunteer before.
Yeah.
Come up before. Yeah. I need to finish my tomato bed. I really have a problem. I usually end up planting my squash first, but really I should be planting my tomatoes first because the tomatoes take longer. So I don't know why I do that.
Well, depending on the squash, some squash will take a long time. There's some 90-day squash out there that.
Yeah. Yeah. Last year we actually had something that was attacking our cantaloupes. Something liked our cantaloupes besides just us.
You mean actually gnawing on it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought it might be possums, but I'm not sure.
Could be.
Moles, groundhogs, I don't know.
Yeah, groundhog will eat.
We didn't have any holes in our yard last year, but we did catch some possums in our live trap. No failures, only lessons. Yeah.
Yeah.
I usually give things about 3 years, and then I'm like, okay, I'm done with that. Maybe that just doesn't grow here, or I just don't have the right soil. I don't know. But hopefully my dill does as well as it did last year. I ended up with a pretty good size container of it, and that's what was left over after I'd made a big half-gallon jar of powdered ranch dressing. My own powdered ranch dressing, which I love it. It's cool. I've made my own taco seasoning. I've made my own powdered ranch. I've made my own Italian dressing. all the powdered versions of those. I'm trying to think what the next thing is that I could do.
Italian seasoning.
Well, that's I did the powdered version, and then I took the powdered version and
No, I
turned
mean
it
with
into
the herbs,
actual dressing.
with oregano and basil and
Yeah, that's what I did.
yeah.
So I did that. So I don't know. Maybe some fajita seasoning or something. I don't know. I was trying to make it a series, but I can't think of another one that I would want. I don't know.
Poultry seasoning.
Poultry?
Poultry seasoning is a mix.
Today I decided I had some chicken and I decided I wanted to bake it. So I took that powdered Italian dressing that I made and I baked it in the oven, and it was so good. That powdered Italian dressing, like what you would buy in the packages, but I made it myself. That was so good on that chicken, man. It was so good. So yeah, I got one. I need to think of some more, but poultry, I'll have to write that one down. I was thinking maybe fajita seasoning.
Well, that's kind of like the taco one, but you can make a spicy one.
Yeah.
And just a regular one. Use cayenne pepper instead of chili powder.
One thing I want to try this year, since I have the beets, I'm going to try to dehydrate them, then make them into a powder, and then use them in my soap as a colorant, a natural colorant.
Oh.
I'm going to try.
You can eat the leaves too of the beets.
I heard that from the vineyard chicks that you.
Yeah, you can actually. What I usually do, I just let them dry out and then I grind them up into powder, and you can put them in your smoothies and stuff like that, or soup.
Mm-hmm.
Carrots too.
Carrots too.
Carrots. Yeah. You can add the greens of carrots are really, really good for you.
Yeah,
I'll have to remember that.
I think they're actually better than the carrot, aren't they?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like a spinach protein smoothie kind of thing in the morning, and so yeah, that'd be something good to put in there. And I try to see how many pieces of spinach I can get in there without actually not making it actually taste like spinach. So, but it has like cocoa powder in it. And my husband tried it. He's like, "This is good." I'm like, "Well, yeah. Why would I drink it if it tasted gross?"
Right? Yeah, I make one that has like carrot greens and dandelion leaves and ginger and turmeric and just a bunch of stuff. Rosemary, lavender. Rosemary tastes really good, and it's really good for depression. So, yeah.
South Beach is in Oregon, just south of Newport. See, there's a Newport, Rhode Island, too.
Yes.
So every time I hear Newport, I think Rhode Island because I lived there.
There's a lot of Newports, actually. California.
Over to get to Newport, and it's right, it's got the ocean all around it, these beautiful beach, and then it's got a gorgeous area of shops and everything. And then back behind that, there's beautiful houses and mansions where you can take tours. I mean, Newport, Rhode Island is awesome. I love it.
Nice.
Yeah, I think they see this area and one person builds a dock or something, says, "Oh, we're going to name this area Newport."
Yeah.
We like your Newport, so.
Isn't there a Newport, Virginia, too?
I wouldn't doubt it. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, there's several of them in the States.
Yeah. You probably go up and down the coast of both coasts and find.
Every time I say Breckenridge, people think I'm talking about Colorado. I'm like, no, Breckenridge, Texas.
Yeah.
Bush beans should explode once the heat hits here in April, May. This will be my first year growing kidney beans. I've never grown them before.
Now, is a kidney bean a bush bean or a runner bean?
It's a bush. The ones that I think they have should be a bush bean.
Okay.
Earlier, earlier Billy said he was in Tennessee. Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't remember till he said that earlier, and I was like, okay, I didn't remember Tennessee, but it's also been a very long time since I sent Billy anything over there. I forget what I sent him. Can you remember what I sent you, Billy? Was it like, I don't know what it was. I had a bunch of something, and whatever I had a bunch of, he wanted some, so I mailed them to him.
I don't live in Oregon anymore, but when I did, I lived in Newport for most of the time, and then I also lived in Toledo, Oregon, and I lived in Siletz, Oregon.
So it was those red onion things. Yeah. Okay. Now I mean, those red onions didn't come up very well for me. That's why I was so excited about the onions, because I haven't had the best luck with onions.
Yeah, yellow wax beans. I love growing yellow wax beans. Oh.
I guess I sent him red onions. I had the little, what do you call them when they're
bulb?
Bulb. That's
or
it.
Set.
No, it's a bulb. It's a bulb. I was wanting to call it a clove like garlic, but it's not. But yeah. Purple onion starts. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, I hope they grew for you, Billy, because yeah. Yeah.
For kidney beans or just for beans in general?
My kidney beans are already popping up out of the ground.
Are they?
Well, out of the raised bed
inside
container.
Oh, well, you're in Texas.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the raised bed, yeah. The beets are up, the onions are up, the beans are up. The beets, the beans, and the onions. I haven't planted the tomatoes yet, and I haven't planted the squash. And the peppers are under the grow light. I took them from the paper towel method to a little pot, and they're under the grow light. And then since those 3 sprouted, I put 3 more in there. So now all my peppers are either in the paper towel or under the grow light. So I'm hoping I'll get some. But they're going to go in the tires. So
nice.
And then if I don't have enough tire space, I might just use a big pot on a couple of them. But we got 8, so if all of them get up, then I'll find a spot for all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have way too many tomatoes already.
Yeah, I'm going to have
I don't care.
All the Mariana tomatoes. So I'm going to have literally 2 spots worth of tomatoes.
What kind of tomatoes?
Huh?
What kind of tomatoes?
Mariana.
Oh, I thought you said marijuana tomatoes. I'm like, is that a new kind of tomato?
Well, maybe I said it wrong. I don't know. I didn't know why you're asking me like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Give tomato sandwich a new meaning.
No doubt.
Yeah. Last year wasn't the best tomato year for me.
Oh man.
I had tomatoes everywhere. They were popping out the bed and going everywhere. So I tried to work really hard on amending that soil. So hopefully I'll have a better year. But I didn't want to move them because hubby had put all those T-posts in the ground, so they'll have something to hold up on.
I've seen a lot of people having trouble with blossom rot. And the people down the road, they sold their house and somebody came in to, repair it and all that stuff. And they threw out a bunch of scrap pieces of drywall, which is gold for a garden. I ran it over like 30 times and crunched it up and put it in where I was planting my tomatoes. Didn't have one blossom rot because gypsum is calcium. So
there was a little something going on with the tomatoes last year. And because of that, it wasn't the whole section. I got enough to eat. I just didn't get enough to preserve. So, but anyway, what they say, if you have a problem, don't put your tomato plants that are dead back in there. So I pulled them all out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Because of all of it, because I didn't remember exactly what spot it was. I pulled all of it out. And
yeah, if you have like something on the stem or on the leaves that is
I couldn't identify exactly what it was, but I did get enough.
Get rid of it.
Yeah. Oh, I hope I did. I did get enough that we got to eat off of it, but I'm just hoping it doesn't happen again. I tried to just get it out. She's laughing at me. I forgot what she's laughing at me about now.
Yeah, I had two it's a plum tomato.
Roma?
Yeah, that's it. Roma tomatoes. I had 2 plants and I got 3 5-gallon buckets full of tomatoes off of that.
Wow.
2 plants. They grew like crazy. I had way too many tomatoes. I even made sauce out of my purple Cherokee tomatoes, which actually turned out really good.
I haven't been able to get the purple Cherokee tomatoes where I could try them yet, but I'm hoping.
Get the Hostile seeds. Oh man,
I didn't buy any, so I'm gonna use whoever sent me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna use those because
what was it? 4 years ago, I bought a pack from them, and each year I only put 1 seed in each spot, and it's 100% germination. I've never had 1 seed not come up.
Nice. And that's from who?
Haas Tools.
Okay.
And it's a heirloom purple Cherokee tomatoes.
I want to say maybe the one I got from Joe might be Hostile seeds, but they're not that kind. It's a different kind.
Okay. Yeah.
So they should be pretty, whatever they are. I mean, I could tell it was pretty good quality. So whatever tomato that is probably going to do pretty well. And then I'll just throw some of the others that I had left over in there. Well,
guys, I'm going to run because I've still got a few things I need to get done today before the day is over. And yeah, so thanks for having me, Gail.
You're like 5 hours behind us.
Yeah, I know. It's almost 8 o'clock, and I still need to go and get the mail, and I need to get the car moved because we have somebody coming who's going to park in our driveway, and they'll be here at like 5 o'clock in the morning or something. I'm not getting up for that. And then I got finished cleaning the kitchen, and I've got my Instant Pot is full of chicken broth. I need to do something with that. So yeah, I got a few things to do before bedtime. So
yes.
And you got to feed that poor little dinosaur behind you too.
Yeah, he's a little skinny.
Yeah, he's a little
slowly he's running. It's that treadmill that I've got him on.
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't notice that he was moving. I guess I hadn't looked that close.
Oh.
I just looked down when he said dinosaur, and I found a form that met that, Anyway, Heather's laughing at me, something about the tomato varieties. I said, I'm going to grow what I have and what people have sent me. I did do 1 seed haul this year from MI Gardener. Bye, Lorrie.
I'll see you soon.
See you later.
See ya.
And then there was 2. So anyway, that's what I have growing. I'm just starting to throw stuff in the ground because it looks so warm outside. I'm like, it'll work. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
It's still February.
I know, but it's 92 degrees. How cold could the ground be? Anyway, I don't know. I just like on the kidney beans, I thought, oh, I have 10 seeds, right? So I said, I'm just going to throw 4 in the ground because I have 10, right?
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw 4 in the ground, see what happens. They're already popped up.
Oh yeah, they're pretty quick. Like my cucumbers.
Maybe another week, and then I'll put some more in there.
Second day I put my cucumber in it again. It was Haas Tools cucumbers, which I probably don't need to grow cucumbers, but I still like to have fresh cucumbers.
Grow cucumbers.
Those things. The second day they were popped up out of the ground.
I panic. Yeah. I don't know. I just try stuff. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. I mean, if I have plenty of seed, I will gamble and throw it in there just to see if it'll work. I'm a gambler. I'm like, I have 10 seeds. I can gamble with 4. Come on, it'll be all right. Sometimes it pays off. Sometimes you get a freeze. You never know. It's a toss-up. But I notice other people in my zone and in Texas were getting stuff sooner than me. And I'm like, they must be planting earlier than me. They can't be following that last frost date and have planted.
Oh yeah, the last frost dates kind of went out the window this year.
There's no way. There's no way.
That's what I'm trying to figure out, because
I'm just planting stuff as I go along. If, like with those survival seeds, I'm being a little more particular on those because I want to make sure everything comes up, right? Really, my biggest concern is the peppers. Everything else, I mean, 3 things are already up. I'm not worried about the tomatoes. I mean, that's brand new fresh soil. I've been amending it since August when hubby gave me that container. I've been amending it since then. So I'm pretty sure that the tomatoes are going to grow fine. It's really the peppers I'm the most concerned about because peppers have not been my strong suit. But I did get them to sprout in the.
I had screwed up last year with my the jalapenos. I had it was time to start hardening my plants from inside the house, so I put them outside, but I put them on the porch, which is not enclosed or anything, and I completely forgot them out there. It wasn't really cold, but it was too much of a shock for them, so they never came out of it. I got a little bit of jalapenos, but not as much as I usually get.
Yeah. Last year I decided I wasn't going to plant no peppers at all. Well, I ended up going and getting starts. That's the only thing I bought starts on last year was those 2. I bought 1 jalapeno and 1, oh no, what's the red one called? Oh gosh, I can't think of it right now. It's hot. Anaheim? Is it Anaheim? Is Anaheim red?
Cayenne?
Cayenne, that's it. Cayenne. 1 cayenne and 1 jalapeno. The jalapeno did okay. I got some. But the cayenne went crazy. I had tons and tons of them.
It's hard not to grow good cayenne because it
was a start. It was already up, so all I did was take care of it from that point forward. But I did buy those 2 starts last year only because peppers are so hard. That's why I'm the most concerned about my peppercini peppers of everything.
I usually do those cayenne. I usually do every other year because I don't eat them. I actually smoke them in my smoker, and then I dehydrate them or let them dry out or use the dehydrator, and I get smoked cayenne pepper out of it.
Yeah, I should have did that with mine last year. You know what I did with mine? I sold them. Hubby took them to work, and there's a lot of like Hispanic people there, and that's like not a pepper you can just buy at Walmart.
Oh
So
no.
they bought them like $7 a bag or something like that. And I had a lot. So I made like money off of them, and I kept some, and I have actually I had some seeds. I need to plant some of those too. See if I can get them to come up from that seed from my plant from last year.
Oh, they're easy.
Yeah.
Just well, you probably don't even need a heating pad in your area. But
Because I have such a hard time, they are under the grow light, and there is a heating pad underneath them. Because I have such a hard time with peppers, I'm babying them. Just
yeah.
what if I can even get up 2 of the survival seed peppers, I'll be happy. 1 for each tire. Now, if I get up all 8, I'm going to have to get a little creative. Might have to put 2 in each tire and get a couple of big pots to put them in. But
Yeah, that's what's good about having the grow bags in case
yeah, I did
you
want
get
to
too much stuff, and then I need a container to put something in.
Yeah. My sister sent me that new metal container. Did you see that anywhere? No, I guess you're not on my Facebook, are you?
No, I don't do
A nice
Facebook.
metal container. Well, I decided I'm going to grow my tomatillas in that because I had used up the space I was going to put them in. So I'm going to put tomatillas in there, and then I have another small bed. I'm going to put 2 tomatillas in there. So I'm going to grow 2 of the regular and 2 of the purple. So we'll see. I haven't ever been able to get the purple up yet, but I don't know why the purple would be any harder, but for some reason they are. She's saying wow. I don't know if she's saying wow to me or to or to something Billy said.
Oh yeah, the peppers at 70 and 80, 70 to 88. Yeah, that's what my growing area is 88 degrees, which everything grows like crazy in that little. I've got it's just all it is the little plastic shelves that you get at the store, and then I've got the grow lights underneath the shelves, and I've got it wrapped with survival blankets, so the light reflects.
I need to do that to mine. Maybe I'll do that next year.
And it keeps
You know the old baker's rack that people used to put microwaves on back in the day?
Yeah.
So I have mine on one of those. So the grow light is on, where you would actually put the microwave. The grow light's up here, and then the tray is down here that has containers. So that's where I have mine. But I do want to get one more for next year, because next year I want to try to do more. This year, I don't know. I kind of drug my butt on it. I kept listening to other people, and I listened to other people talk about getting ready for gardening for a while before I actually jumped on the bandwagon. Yeah, I wasn't quite prepared for it yet. They were talking about it.
You have to start earlier.
Huh?
You have to start earlier.
Yeah, I do, because my season will be over because it'll be too hot. Like when everybody else still has stuff going in August, I've had to pull things up because it's so hot. So yeah, I looked back. I did a whole research of my garden season last year, because I put on all my garden tours, I put the month, and I went through and watched my plants grow, and most of mine was at the beginning, March through half of July, and then July and August it started, I was pulling my my zucchini plants were beautiful last year. They went crazy. They looked awesome. They were exploding all outside of the bed, and then I had some pumpkin in there too. But it just started getting too hot for even them. I was like, man.
Yeah.
But I did plant my cilantro earlier, so hopefully I'll actually get some cilantro this year.
I used to when I didn't get in trouble, because again, I'm in the city. I'd plant my zucchini in the tires, and it got to where I had to paint the tires white so they wouldn't get so hot because the leaves were starting to wilt. So I started painting the tires white, and it helped out a lot.
Yeah, mine will be painted this year. I've got 2 out of 6 of them painted. Then I have 2 more over at the climbing wall. So I have 8 tires altogether. I ended up with 2. One of them is going to have my climbing spinach because it's going to grow up on I've never planted the climbing spinach before, but it's already coming up. And also my New Zealand spinach in the planter is coming up. So may actually end up with some spinach this year. So that'd be nice. I like to put that in my salads and in my shakes in the morning.
Yeah, last year I got strawberry spinach. It actually it makes spinach, and then at the top of it grows berries that taste like strawberries.
That's cool. Is it a hybrid or
they never came up?
Huh. Oh.
So I need to find a good place to get those seeds if they're available.
August through,
because that would be awesome. I mean, eat the berries off, and then you can have a spinach salad on top of it.
I'll probably just be mixing my spinach with my lettuce, all my mixes of lettuce, and I love when you can do your salad right out of your planter. And actually the planter closest to the back door is where I put my lettuce. So I can literally just walk out the door with my little, drainer.
That's the way my herb bed was.
Put it in the drainer, come in and wash it out with the water and make up our salads. And then everybody makes fun of the little tiny carrots that you pull out, but hey, that's the perfect size for 2 people.
Yeah.
The little ones.
Yeah, I'll have to get more soil this year. I think I'm gonna end up making some more places to grow stuff.
Yeah, every year my husband's like, "Are you going to make it smaller?" No. But he keeps bringing me home shipping containers. So, he brought me those 2 big ones home last year. One of them's going to have the Mariana tomatoes in it. The other one's going to have I'm going to do 2 spaghetti squash, 2 yellow squash, and 2 acorn squash. So it's going to be like the miscellaneous squashes. Yeah. And then I have a whole bed of zucchini because zucchini's my favorite. And then the butternut squash will be in the tires because I have all my survival seeds together. And then some herbs in the middle, and there'll be a few flowers in there. But I've been working on it, staging it, weeding it, lugging dirt from the other side of the yard. I mean, it always seems like you're never going to get it done, but you always do. But I'm doing it all by myself,
Yeah.
If I have a project that involves building, that's when I get hubby to do it. Or sometimes if it needs tilling, if an area needs tilling, I'll have him till. But I can't really think of any area that I need tilled. Maybe when I go to make a spot for my giant pumpkins, I might have him till 3 areas for that. And I'm thinking I have these kind of what you would use on a flower bed. They're kind of scalloped on the top. I'm going to make like a circle, and I'm going to put cardboard at the bottom, and I'm going to mound it up, and I'm going to try to make a mound, and I'm going to try to do the giant pumpkins completely separate from each other, because if they really start going, they're going to go crazy. I'm going to try to put them separate. But in my gardener came with 3 seeds for giant pumpkins. So I literally have 3.
Oh boy.
But anyway, it's just a challenge for myself. I can grow regular pumpkins. I usually get 2 to 4 regular sized pumpkins every year.
Are you going to give them to your chickens?
Yeah. I have about a million pictures of them.
Yeah.
And a million videos, Because if I get anything bigger than a regular sized pumpkin, I'm going to be ecstatic.
Yeah,
Had
I always wanted to do because I've stuck like a stake or something through a head of cabbage, and then tied it to a string and dangled it inside their cage or the pen, and the chickens would go crazy after that, and they would peck on it and peck on it. I always wanted to set up a camera and do a fast motion of it until it's all gone. I thought that would be a cool video to sit there and watch chickens devour a head of cabbage.
I've seen other people do videos.
Yeah.
Yes, we are, Lisa. But I think my laptop's about to.
Uh-oh. I think her laptop just died. Yeah, I grew onions. It was in a raised bed though. Onions last year. They did okay. I didn't get real giant ones because it was from onion sets, so they don't usually get too big. Yeah, it looks like her laptop died. Hopefully she gets back on her phone so she can shut the live down. Well, I usually get some onion sets just to plant with my tomatoes, and I plant basil just even if I never eat it, just to be with my tomato plants to keep the critters away. Yeah, that's where I got my onions. I think I might have 2 left from last year. 200 basil. Woo. Yeah, unless I'm actually planting it to save for basil, I usually only plant enough just for the season, which I actually might have to plant some this year. I have to see how much I have left. Do you need me to send you a link, Gail? Mammoth basil. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Uh-oh. Can you join on your phone? That way you can just shut it down. Because I can't do anything. You have to come in and shut it down. Yeah, I've had to. Um, not last year, but the year before I did pineapple basil. Oh man, that has a awesome taste to it. It didn't get very big, but oh, it was really good. You get them big slices of purple Cherokee tomatoes and a little bit of olive oil, and you put the basil on there and bake it. Oh, good stuff. And some Parmesan cheese. Ooh. Ooh, that'd be an interesting year-round basil. Yeah, I've had basil come up from the old basil turned into seed in the same bed. Yeah, even though most of the plants I start from seed and whatnot, my own seed and everything. There's a local nursery here that I go and maybe spend $20 on just getting a couple things here and there to fill in holes. That way they stay in business because it's a really nice nursery. They actually do free classes and everything. They had people come in and talk about uh, how to amend your soil and how to grow this and grow that, which is good. I mean, we need more places like that because most cities you go to and they have a nursery or something like that, they'll actually charge for a class or something like that. It's rare to find somebody doing it for free. You may have to leave your laptop plugged in for about 10 minutes. That way it gets enough charge to stay up. How well that is that working out for you there, Billy? Yeah, I want to see how your that ugly one, the ugly melon turns out.
And we will make America great again.
Double Vision Homestead. Oh. I can't remember what the name of them were. Is that what the name of them was? Yeah, the flat tire one. Yep. Oh, here we go. Yay.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to the show.
All right. So guess what happened?
Your laptop died because you said,
oh, you
I
see
think my
this?
laptop's gonna die.
You see this right here? The plug?
Yeah.
So the laptop plug and the Keurig plug, they're the same shape. So when I thought my laptop was plugged in, it was the Keurig plugged in. So that's why the laptop died. It wasn't plugged in. So I can make coffee or whatever. Yeah. So I called my husband in here and he's like, because the laptop's not plugged in, that's the Keurig. I looked at that and thought, I did think that for a second. I thought, no. And I checked what I thought was, where it was going, but yeah. So that's what my tech guy came up with. I had the Keurig plugged in on the laptop.
Yeah. You're good for coffee, just not
Yeah.
laptop.
So that's what happened. Yeah. I thought I'd get a good laugh out of that one. So that's what happened to me.
Well, this year I think I'm gonna be growing corn.
Corn?
Yeah.
What kind of corn?
I'm not sure what, and it's from Haas Tools too, so I have to look. It's a sweet corn, so.
Yeah, I have 4 different kinds of corn. Like, that means 3 different people sent me corn, plus my sister got the glass gem corn that was on my Amazon wish list. And so I after moving things around to fit the survival seeds into my plan, which I need a pencil for my garden plan because it keeps going all over the place.
Yeah, that's why.
So I think I figured out where I'm going to put the corn. But I can't do a lot because I don't have a big space for it. And I actually considered putting it on the back fence. But I heard it needs to be planted like in a circle. Have you ever heard that before?
Well, it's actually a diamond is better.
A diamond?
Yeah. Than a circle, because if you do the circle, the edges won't get pollinated as well.
If I planted a regular corn with a little bit of that glass gem corn, that's not going to cause a problem, is it?
You mean cross pollinating? Because it doesn't pollinate like bees and stuff. It's wind pollinated. The wind pollinates it.
So that would probably be a problem then, to plant 2 different kinds of corn together.
Well, you would just end up with, half and half or partly of one and the other. But I've got a 4x4 bed that I usually put my one type of tomatoes in there for making sauce and stuff. And I'm thinking about moving that operation over to another spot and putting them in buckets. So that'll clear up a spot for corn and beans, because I'll grow pole beans next to the corn. Mm-hmm. That way I get 2 things out of it, and it's good for both of those.
I heard you say you plant your basil and tomatoes together even if you don't harvest the basil. I do that too as a companion plant. I heard you saying that. I was like, okay,
and onions.
But I was listening. You do that with onions too?
Yeah, I put onions in the same bed with that way, and I when I was clearing the bed out, I've got onions growing, so that worked out good.
I'll probably just do the glass gem corn, even though it's not necessarily an eating corn. It's really more or ornamental. Because my sister sent it to me, so I'm afraid she'll ask me, "Did I grow it?" And then I'll have to say I didn't. So I'll probably just that, or I'll put the other corn on the fence and separate the two. But yeah, I'm starting to run out of space already. I have a lot of pots. I can grow like flowers and herbs in pots, but there's some things you just can't grow in pots. So
yeah, if you just have a small batch of corn that because they did different shapes of a 4x4 area, and they just did the normal rows, and then they did a circle, and then they did a diamond, and they did a triangle, and the diamond ones did the best because of, and you have to point the diamond toward the direction where your wind comes from, because again, the wind is what will pollinate the corn.
Okay.
And this guy had this all set up in the same area, and at the end of the season he took the ears of corn off in different areas, because the outside usually doesn't get pollinated because the wind, if it's on the outside, unless the wind goes other direction. But he said the diamond was the best. It produced the biggest ears and the more kernels, because that's what the pollination is the kernels.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I really don't know that much about corn. Lori said she grew hers in big pots. I don't think I have any big enough pots. One of my big pots, because I have 2 barrels that are big pots. They're plastic, really, but they look like wood, right? But one of them has the evergreen bunching onions in it, and the other one has the garlic chives in it. So both of my big pots are spoken for.
Yeah, that's the thing is
pretty much all the containers all have stuff that's going to go in them. All I have left is medium to small pots.
And it's hard to have stuff planted with your corn, because it's going to suck every nutrient out of that ground.
Oh, it's one of
That's
those.
why green beans are one of the best things, because it complements each other.
Well, I considered growing corn in.
I think you call it sister thing or something like that.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Companion plant, sister. Oh, I know what you're talking about. I have this raised planter thing that hubby got from his job. But what you're talking about with the pollination, it doesn't sound like they were growing there, because part of it would be covered by the container. So I don't think that area is going to work either. So I think back fence.
It won't pollinate until it gets almost full grown, because the little tassels at the top of the corn stalk, that's the thing that needs to be pollinated. That's what makes your kernels on your ear of the corn.
So if a foot of it was in the container,
that's fine. Yeah,
that would be okay. That would work. You think maybe?
Yeah, unless you grow 1 foot tall stalks of
no.
corn.
I grew corn about 3 years ago, and I got about 4, maybe 4 foot on those. I didn't grow a lot. I just grew a little bit, but they did get about 3 or 4 foot, probably. 6 pots altogether, but 4 alone can pollinate themselves. I'm reading what they're talking about. We're talking about corn. I can't believe I have so much corn. I'm like, I have to grow at least one kind of corn. And I really don't want to not grow the one for my sister, even though it's really more of a fun. But I think you can grind it up and make flour and stuff out of it.
Cornmeal, yeah.
It's not really a eating corn.
Oh, yeah, that's Three Sisters. It's corn, beans, and squash, I believe. Mm-hmm. But I don't think I'd have enough room for the squash in a 4x4 area.
Yeah, maybe next year when I don't have the survival seed garden. But that took up like a third of my gardening space. So that really just leaves the wild garden, the tomato bed, the squash bed. Well, I mean, it leaves, it takes up about a third of the containers.
Actually, I could leave the center open for a squash plant. Ooh, or the ends, the corners. Ooh,
I'm growing some of my butternut squash in tires. I'm going to try one in a bucket, which I've never, ever done that before. And I think it's not going to work, but we're going to see if it can, just to kind of prove to people in an apartment building that you can grow something like that. We're going to see. I thought I would just test one seed in there. So then I might try to find a bigger container if, anyway, I want to try to get all the seeds in the ground.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to get all of them planted. But yeah, my beans are already up. So I will have, and then I planted 4. They already came up. So in a couple more days, I want to plant some more. I wonder how many can go in that container. I guess if I need to thin them out later, I can do that. Not used in market gardening due to light soil nutrients.
The Three Sisters
competition. I really don't have the right space for the Three Sisters gardening. The only
that's what I was trying to
think work for me would be the wild garden, but which is kind of like a circle. But I always put all my vining plants out there at the very back of the yard, probably 6 feet from the fence, because the vines have room to grow. So I'll have pumpkin, cantaloupe, watermelon.
You gotta watch your cross pollinating though with your melons and cantaloupe and stuff.
Yeah, well,
my friend and I still joke at him.
Didn't come up. My pumpkins were fine, but I don't eat them. I just use them for decoration. And of course, I don't eat my gourds. So really, the only thing I'm eating out of there is the cantaloupe. Everything else is really mostly decoration. I did want to grow, the kind of pumpkins you use for a pie, but I don't think I want to be able to get to fill. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. I'm not going to have room.
Pumpkin is just a squash. You can eat it just like a
squash I know you can. I'm not a huge fan of eating. I would rather grow a pumpkin to look at than grow a pumpkin because I'm not a huge pumpkin flavor person.
Well, you can also dehydrate it, the flesh, and then grind it up into flour.
I figured out it's not always necessarily the pumpkin I don't like. I think it's when people make things and put too much pumpkin spice in it that I don't like. So it's like too much of that garlic clove. And there's one more, because I looked up what goes in the pumpkin spice. And there's the garlic cloves and one other thing that overpower it. But the time I made my own pumpkin spice seasoning where it was lighter on those things, I could handle it better. So I think it's the pumpkin spice is too overpowering on it. So it's not maybe the pumpkin I don't like. It's the pumpkin spice that they put into all of it.
Yeah, the whole because of the craze for pumpkin spice. I don't like it just because of the ginger. I don't like the ginger taste with the other spices. Separate, they're fine, but I don't like them together.
It might be the ginger. Yeah, but I can't remember. I'd have to look again at the spices. But yeah, there were two that were like, but I know garlic cloves, ground are really, really, really pungent. I always put any recipe I have. I always put like a fourth of what it says.
No, not me. I love garlic. I need to have some today because I was at the hospital.
Garlic. I'm talking about clove, like clove, not garlic clove. I love garlic. No, we're talking about like ground
cloves.
Ground cloves.
Okay.
That they put in the pumpkin spice.
Okay.
And let's see. You can test out French. Princess pumpkins, gorgeous. Yeah. I don't know what they call the white pumpkins, but I did get one really beautiful white pumpkin last year. This one.
That's a pumpkin that got scared.
A white one?
Yeah.
I think it grew from one of the pumpkins that Mom and I had bought for our front porch, and I just put out there and let it die. So it just self-pollinated. It grew from itself. So I learned that the hard way. One year I just put one on the side of the house and it started growing and sprouting the next year, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do that on purpose next time. So I did. Yeah, my acorn squash, it didn't come up last year. I don't know why, or if I just didn't get the right seed. So
acorn's good for storing for longer term.
Yeah, my butternut squash lasted a long time past gardening season. Yeah. I literally had a giant bowl in the corner of my kitchen, and it basically sat there, and there was no bruising. It basically was there until I used it all up. And there were no signs of aging or,
it was perfectly fine. Usually if you take your thumbnail, and if it's hard to poke into the outside skin, those are good ones for storing for long term.
Yeah, the butternut squash. Last year was my first year to ever have butternut squash. And it went crazy in those tires. And I loved it. It's officially my second favorite squash now. Zucchini's always my favorite. It's officially my second favorite. Now this year will be my first year with spaghetti squash, so we'll see how that is.
Last year I grew yellow zucchini, which was weird.
Yellow zucchini.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's yellow.
Candy roaster squash. Never heard of that one. White is referred to as blanc. Yeah, like Blanca. Blanca is white.
Well, I think I'm going to call it a night.
Me too. Thank you for coming up to talk with us and
taking over your show.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for carrying it on while I was trying to get back to it. Figure out that it was not actually even plugged in at all. Well, it wouldn't come on for a while because it had no charge at all. So it had to be in there for just a little bit before it was enough for it to even come on. So I was like, and then I tried to join it from my phone, but this is a new phone and I've never gone on StreamYard.
Oh.
From this phone. I've gone on other people's where I just hit the link, but I've never done my own live stream since I've
That's what I was wondering, if I had to post a link in chat.
Yeah, I tried that. I did try. When you said that, I tried it, but it didn't work for me. But anyway, thank you for coming up, and thank you everybody out in the chat for hanging out with us. Much appreciated.
Catch you guys later.
Night. Bye, guys. Thank you for coming in. Have a good night, guys.